Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Tyler McMillian, host of the Basement Podcast. Before we get started with our regularly scheduled programming, I'd like to take this time to give a big shout out and a big thank you to our friends down at Rollin' Dough Pizza. Rollin' Dough Pizza is located at 217 North Main Street in Tompkinsville, Kentucky. If you find yourself hungry Thursday through Saturday, 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, they've got you covered. Make sure if you have any regular smart device, smartphone, that you use the Slice app to make it easy for orders and delivery. We'd like to encourage you to support local, to support good pizza, to support good food, and to support those people that support the Basement Podcast. For those of you that know me, you know I've coached in the community for a number of years, and TJ and Logan Williams down there at Rollin' Dough Pizza, they've been very supportive and very kind to our programs over the years. So I'd like to take this time to repay the favor and encourage you to get down to Rollin' Dough Pizza on North Main Street and get yourself some good pizza and some good food and support local business. Thank you. Also, before we get started, if you consider yourself a reader, casual or avid, or maybe you don't consider yourself a reader but you'd like to get started, or you'd like to support a local author. Either way, I'd like to encourage you to get on Amazon or get in contact with me and pick up your copy of Dead End Redemption, my newly released novel. Your support would be very much appreciated over the course of my journey as an author. Thank you very much, and please stay tuned to the Basement Podcast, like and subscribe for more videos.
Now tell me what you've been doing with yourself these days. The story's gotten better since the last time you came. You had to take a little trip on down the line. Now you're living in the sunshine, feeling just fine. I'm all ears. Tell me about your last big idea. I know the one about the dude you met in Tangier. Or was it Spain? It might have been. My memories of the past all fade and bend. I'll tell you what, let's just begin. Tell your story to me. 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 Tell your story to me.
Listeners, for those of you listening, this is the Basement Podcast hosted by Justin McMillian. This is our first episode, and we're kicking things off with a guest that I'm really excited about. We've got McKale High on today. McKale and I played football together between 2006 and 2009. I would introduce McKale as someone that I've looked up to since we played football together and we're in school together, a good role model for the community, and just an overall great person. So I'm really excited to have McKale on here today. So if you'd like to maybe tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, first off, thank you for the nice introduction. Appreciate you having me on as the first guest in the Basement Podcast. I've got to say that I like the setup. For the future guests, you need to come a little early and take in the memorabilia on the walls down here. A lot of stuff worth talking about, but as Tyler said, I grew up playing sports with Tyler, played with him and mainly football in high school. That's where most of my memories are with him. Probably busted each other's heads a time or two playing linebacker with each other, but yeah, just grew up with Tyler here in the good old T-ville. Now I'm working at next door, or one of our buildings is next door at Cleary Construction in the finance department. Got a wife and 2 kids and living the dream.
Awesome. Now, Cleary's Construction, that is my oldest son, Asher. He loves looking at the machinery and stuff. Like, so some of his earliest memories here are from when we moved into this house. Cleary's wasn't there, so like he remembers them. Or I don't know if he remembers. I remember watching him watch like the construction crew come in and they're building, flattening the land and all that. When he was like 2 or 3 years old, he could name most of the equipment out there. It's stuff I didn't even know what it was. Like he would name something, I'd Google it, and I'm like, how'd you know what that was? So how long have you been with Cleary's?
I've been there about 5 years. Before I start down that, I'll say that if Asher is really, really interested in heavy equipment, there's a festival's not the word for it, but it's a function called Dozer Days that they have every year. Children from all over come and they get to ride heavy equipment, like real heavy equipment with people.
And that's Cleary's?
No, it's Nuka puts it on, I believe. Might have to have you cut that part out because that might be wrong.
No,
that part might be wrong about who puts it on. But it's a function that happens down in Middle Tennessee every year. Young kids from all over come in. They get handed a hard hat. They get to climb all over new equipment. Some operators there, they'll pick up basketballs and move them from one spot to another. Wow. Yeah, I mean it's. If he's definitely interested in it, it's worth taking the kids down there.
Oh yeah, he would love that. So I'll for sure get some more information on that.
But I've been down there, or been at Cleary's for 5 years. It's been quite the journey. We've really, really grown. Darren and the boys have been great to me. Of course, I grew up with the boys a little bit, and they've been like family. Been a lot of days. It's been some long days, but that comes with growth. But it's been good. It's been great for my career.
Yeah. When I think about Cleary's, the first thing I think of, Darren and they've been such good neighbors. Like when people learn where I live, one of the first things that they ask, like, I bet you hate having them next to it. It's really not been bad at all. Yeah. They've been great to us. They planted the big row of trees, made sure we had a nice privacy feel. And I couldn't tell you how many times that we've had something happen, like at the house for their pool, or like they've brought forklifts over and helped us out many times. So they've been great neighbors. The second thing is I felt like I've noticed being in the school system, like just what an opportunity that they provide, like students at Monroe County High School. Well, I don't know a lot about the program, but they've got like an apprenticeship program.
Yeah.
And I just feel like some of the stuff they're doing is like great. Could you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Starting off with the neighbor thing, you're not the only one that we treat that way. In fact, if Darren or any of the executives found out that we were not being good neighbors to somebody, that's not upholding the Cleary way. You're supposed to treat your neighbors as you would want to be treated, take care of them, go above and beyond. One of my first experiences was being the good neighbors and just taking care of the community was Monticello, Indiana. I went up there with Wesley and was checking out a job. And Wesley probably doesn't even remember this, but one thing I noticed was we was working on a small back road that overlooked a river. And we had this road tore up, blowing and going, getting the pipe in to get these people back up and going. And not necessarily our responsibility, but it was going to happen. We had one guy every single trash day. He would get every house on that street's trash can and take it up to a location to where the trash truck would pick it up.
Awesome.
Told them, you take your trash where you normally do. We'll take it from there. Yeah. So every day that he would go through, take up all their trash, take it up to the main road, and bring it back. Oh. So it's just taking care of people like that is what it's all about.
Oh yeah.
Our apprenticeship program, call it the Cleary Academy. That's something that Carter Walden got going. He takes a lot of pride in it. We will select a couple of seniors every year to partake in that. They'll come and get real on-the-job training with a pay. It's oftentimes it's hard to find something like that and get paid. They'll learn just the basic functions of stuff that you need to learn before actually taking a job. How to turn in a time card, how to conduct yourself in an office setting, how to conduct yourself with your coworkers, all the way to running an excavator.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we have pretty good success rate with it. We get a lot of compliments from other companies on what we do with it. And overall, you know, it's just something we want to do. It's good for us, and it's good for the kids of the community.
Oh, yeah.
And as I like to say, you know, that's something where everybody wins.
Oh, for sure. I couldn't put a number on it, but I've seen multiple kids that I've had in class benefit from that program, and a lot of them, I feel like, end up working at Cleary's when they get out of high school.
We do. We got a pretty good retention rate with it, and we're proud of it. And, you know, sometimes you see the kids, they'll come through, and it's just they grow up right in front of you. You know, they're not that much younger than me. At least I hope. I still don't think that. I still don't think that they are. But it's like you watch them grow up in front of you, and it warms your heart a little bit. I've got to say, it does.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think a lot of Darren and Don and like everybody in the family, they've all been really good to us. So
Dawn was actually my kindergarten teacher.
Dawn followed me from 4th grade to 8th grade. She was my 4th grade teacher. I can't remember. I think she might have been in 5th grade. She wasn't my homeroom teacher in 5th grade. I think I had her as like a rotation class.
Yeah.
When I went to middle school, she was my advisory teacher in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So I followed Dawn for a long time. Then my first year teaching, I got to work with her. So that was
full circle.
A lot. You come in my classroom, my chair Dawn gave me. Most of the books on my walls Dawn gave me. So she made sure she took care of me.
It just must be. That's just what they do.
Yeah,
take care of people.
Oh, we could sit here and talk for the next hour about things like examples of ways that I know that they've reached out and helped people.
Yeah, so, I've got a mind full of things, stuff that they've done to help people that, and I would say it whether we was recording a podcast or not, stuff that they've done, you know, to help people just never mentioned, never spoke of, and it's just one of the many reasons why that's such a good place to work.
Yeah. Shifting topics a little bit, I guess, judging by the questions that were submitted to me, a lot of people want to hear us talk about Monroe County football. My memory and recollection, and now I'm going to say this here, looking back on especially my junior year, the success we had on the 2008 season, I'm not going to speak for everybody on the team, not all the underclassmen, but I know for sure I'm speaking for some guys I graduated with, 6, 7 people. You were viewed as the unequivocal leader of that team, and I feel like you might have been the most influential catalyst in the shift from the 2007 to the 2008 season. So I just want to give you some appreciation for you. And when you guys left, a lot of what I tried to base like my play on, in the way I carried myself in the locker room and on the field, was how I viewed you those 3 years I played with you. So big shout out to you and appreciation to you for being a good role model and a good leader to us.
Well, I got to tell you, I appreciate. I was. That's very humbling to hear, and it. I hope anybody that's in high school. I'm 35. How old are you?
34.
So, we're several years removed from wearing the Navy, and to hear that is very humbling. So many years ago, you know, just hearing the impact. Yeah. You know, I just thought I was just another guy. Just to be honest, I still do. I still am. Yeah. It's just a guy that tries hard in everything he does. And I listened to you on Ben Carter's Average Joseph podcast.
Shout out Ben Carter.
Shout out Ben Carter, Average Joseph. But I actually had you guys playing on the TV and was doing something else. I can't remember what I was doing, and I heard my name, and I was just like, "Did I just hear my name?" Paused it, rewound. My wife Sandy walked through, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Shh, shh, shh. Listen." And I rewound it, played it again, and she's like, "Well, that's awesome." And I was like, "Yeah, I would agree." It was very humbling, and I greatly appreciate you guys giving me that shout out. I just tried to be the best I could be, man.
Yeah.
I just tried to be the leader I thought I needed to be. I tried to be the kid that would make my parents proud. I tried to be the kid that would make my younger brother proud, the kid that would, make people happy to be from Monroe County. Make people, I say that now, but that's genuinely at 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
That's the mindset I had. Like we have probably didn't have the most resources of, schools from around us, but
no, we practiced on
yeah. Do you remember picking up the rocks before practice? How many people how many people used their helmet as a bucket to pick up loose rocks from a field every day before? That was warm up. That was the warm up before the stretching. You walked through, you picked up rocks, filled your helmet up, went to the side, dumped them out, put your helmet on.
I feel like that made us what we were, though.
Yeah.
In part.
That hard dirt, dirt, you take
get
hide
halfway
off.
through October, it was like getting tackled on blacktop.
It was.
Friday nights felt like we were playing in
on
a bouncy house.
Yeah, playing on a rug. But and I just wanted to be like, you don't have to have that nice stuff to be good. You don't have to have that nice stuff to play hard. It's uncomfortable, but it makes you better.
You've got to get and I try to I coach middle school football. For those of you that don't know, that's one of the messages I try to get out every year is just, you don't have to have all this stuff that you think you have to have. You just be coachable and be willing to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be fun. It's I tell them the first day of practice every day. We're in the summer, and I'm like, look around. Everybody in that middle school, there's 30, 35 of you out here. This isn't for everybody. Football takes a special kind of person to willingly, on summer break, get up and come in at 7:38 in the morning, sometimes 6:37 when the heat index is crazy. Like, you're doing something that people don't want to do.
Right.
Voluntarily running sprints. So you've got to be willing to get uncomfortable if you're going to get better, get to a place where you've grown as an individual.
I said something the other day at work, and kind of that builds off what you're talking about. We was talking about, the growth that we've experienced, and I was like, yeah, sometimes you just got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I said that, and it sounded corny, but how true is that in life? That you got to, if you're not uncomfortable, or if you're playing, and we'll stick with the football analogy, but if you're playing in such a way where you're just comfortable, then you're not pushing yourself enough, and you're not pushing your teammates enough, and you're not. Someday you will look back, and the regrets that I have from high school football, well, again, sticking with that, is the times that I felt like I didn't push hard enough. The plays that I missed because maybe I give 90% that play instead of 110. And I feel like most people agree with that. Those are the plays that haunt you. I can still remember them to this day. You just being uncomfortable will take you far in life.
I think the story I told on Ben's podcast was that we were underclassmen. I dropped the bench press bar on my chest, and you came over. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I remember that. Like, I remember we was talking about how good your memory was before we started. I remember the bench that was on. It was the bench next to the door, next to the auto mechanic shop.
100%.
Yes, because I remember that, and that was and I know you were stronger than that, but I was just trying to.
It was me and Trevor Woody. Trevor was spotting me.
And both of you strong, good ball players, and I was just trying to set some sort of tone, like, this is, you can work and have fun.
Yeah.
You don't have to goof off to have fun. You can work and have fun.
And I know at the time you didn't really think that was a shift for my mentality, that moment specifically. I don't know about Trevor. I'm not going to speak for Trevor, but it wasn't something me and him talked about or anything. We didn't have a big enlightened moment. But now mentally, I'm like, I need to get it together. That is embarrassing if I'm dropping 135 pounds on my chest. When I think about football, there's two stories that come to mind that I didn't talk about on Ben's podcast. I do want to see if you remember. It was your senior year. I'm scout team, middle linebacker. I don't know. It's like you're in at fullback, you're in a dive, something up the middle, and I met you in the gap, and I got I didn't kill you or anything. Like, it was one of those where I tackled you and you got another yard or two after I made contact. But I was proud of filling the gap in that hit. And then I realized I start to get up. We roll over and I can't get off of you. My face mask was stuck in your face mask.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no. And like, you didn't realize that our face masks were stuck, and you start giving me a little shove here or there. And I'm like, hey man, hey.
I think I remember that too.
Yeah.
For those people that's played football long enough, you know what that's like when your face, because it's a claustrophobic feeling.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm claustrophobic, and I was probably mad that you tackled me.
Yeah. It's not a good feeling when you've got one of the more physical players on the team and you realize you're stuck to them for a few seconds.
Yeah, I do remember that, because those old face masks. I mean, and to do that takes a pretty good lick. So that's I've never seen two players' helmets get stuck together off them playing patty cake. So it must have been a pretty good lick. But yeah, I do. Did you have to take your helmet off?
I did.
We had to take them off at the same time.
It was stuck. Because I didn't. I don't know. I was younger than you, and I was probably scared. And I didn't. For some reason, it didn't occur to me to just say, "Hey, my helmet's stuck." Like, I just froze. I'm like trying to. So I just pulled I remember like jerking my head out of the helmet real quick, and you stood up, and my helmet's still sticking out of your helmet, and you're like, "Oh, my bad."
Realized you weren't taunting me or anything. That probably wouldn't have went over real good when I was 18.
The second story I remember, well, it's after my sophomore year, infamous 2-9 season. I remember we come in the weight room not shortly after the end of the season. And I want to think, I may be remembering this wrong, but I want to think you got us all together after that last game, all the guys who were still on the team, and you're like, hey, our season starts next week. I want to think you had some kind of talk like that with us. And we come into the weight room, and we're all in that little old weight room that we used to have. We're all in a circle, and you're leading stretches. And you give us this talk. You're like, I remember we clapped different. Like the year before, we clapped once when we went down on a stretch. You're like, we're going to clap twice this year. If you had black shoelaces last season, I want you to wear white shoelaces this year. We're doing everything different. And I remember that sticking out to me. And you got us all together, I think it was every Wednesday, and we would go over to the stadium and run. Yep. And there's I think maybe the first couple times we went, it's maybe 10 of us, but it kept growing every week. Yep. The word starts like, hey, let's get this thing right.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess I'll preface this by saying I've always hated losing more than I liked winning.
Well, you guys weren't used to it.
No, and I'm still not. I mean, I lose every day at work, and I say that because that's what I can relate to now is, I'll take losses every day, I'll do something not right, and that it bothers me deeply. It deeply bothers me, and sometimes I've got to get out of my own head, like, hey, man, like, get yourself, because that can be contagious. But I had a bad taste in my mouth after that 2007 season, and I just wanted to spit it out. It wasn't. That is never something I want to get used to. Yep. That is never something that I want to accept. That's never something that I want my children to like. You need to learn how to lose and lose gracefully, but that don't mean you gotta like it. And I just wanted to. I seen just how good things can spread, but bad things can spread very, very quickly. It takes a special mindset to turn a ship like that around. Oh, yeah. And I knew that at the time, and I wanted to be the one to do that. Now, at the time, I didn't know how good of a job it was going to do, but I think it was just back to that, you can have fun and work hard. You don't have to be, and sometimes when you're in grade school or middle school or high school, you think you've got to be a goofball to have fun. No, you can work hard and have fun. You can study hard and have fun. It's fun to me. It has always been fun to work hard, and I guess I owe that to my parents. My parents have grown up or I say grown up, they've raised us in such a way. I mean, they've worked for the same people for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
My dad's worked at Stevens Manufacturing for 35 plus years. My mom is going to be retiring here in a couple of weeks from the hospital. She's worked there 30 something plus years, and I've never known them.
Wow.
I've never known them not to work, and they've always provided for us, and they was always in a good mood.
Yeah.
And I've always just been raised to, you can have fun working hard. I'll go back to what, some of my earliest experiences farming. We used to raise tobacco.
Yeah.
And my great grandmother, I guess I would. It all goes back to her in a way. Her name was McKale High, and we were stripping tobacco, and I used to hate that so bad.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't like they were standing over me with a whip. I could run and play, but when I come back, I would strip the tips, and she just made that her personality and the way she went about life, and it just made the experience fun. We were working and having fun. They would tell old stories. Shout out to her. I'll tell a little story on her real quick. Yeah. Not to overshare, but she's a special. I'd name my daughter after her. So she had a son at, I want to say 16 years old, be my grandfather. 1 month later, her husband leaves for 4.5 years for World War II. So she's a new mother by herself, raising my grandfather. And if that's not grit, then I don't know what is. And oftentimes, if I ever get inside my own head, like I talk about, I'll remind myself, like, you've really not got it that bad. You can work hard and have fun. That same channel of thinking. Yeah. I don't know if that answered your question or not.
Yeah.
I just kind of went where my mind went.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that for sure. I think that's brings us to a good point to get to some of these guest questions. Well, I've got a list of guest questions from some of my buddies. Like, we've got a group chat going, and I've asked some of my buddies like what they wanted me to ask on the podcast. So what I don't want to do with this is go through it like an interview list. So I feel like I'll just drop a couple of them here and there when it fits in the conversation. So this one was, I think the two that we will speak on now will be, number one, what was the reason for the 2007 season collapse? And then what were the main reasons for the 2008 comeback?
2007. That would have been my junior year, your sophomore year.
Yep.
We were coming off a team that got upset early in 2006. One of the worst losses of my playing career, one that still haunts me. Coming off that into a year which I wanted to do better. I did not want to lose in the first round of the playoffs like we had done so many years before. And then we come out and we lost. If I remember right, you correct me. You've got the photographic memory. We lost by 1 to Taylor County.
Yep.
That game, I remember, I actually caught a double calf cramp that game and was not able to play a little bit in crunch time. And that, as you can see, that still bothers me, that I did not hydrate like I was supposed to, didn't take care of myself like I was supposed to, and we lost by 1. That's not because I didn't play. I mean, it's a team game. But
I broke my thumb the first play of the game. The first play of the season we kicked off. They had a running back named Chris. Was it Chris Brown or
Chris Thomas?
Chris Thomas, yeah.
Chris Thomas.
He returned the opening kickoff, and I mean, I remember being so excited about being on the kickoff team that year. It flew down the field, and I don't know if it was a solo tackle or a gang tackle or what. I was involved in the tackle, and my thumb got wedged up like under a shoulder pad or something, and I broke my thumb like first play of the season.
And that year we were without, if you remember, Joseph Eaton tearing his ACL.
Campbellsville scrimmage.
Yeah.
Or Russellville scrimmage.
I can't remember. I know it was a scrimmage, and we were at home, and he run like a 10-yard stop route from the tight end spot. Gets hit with a perfect pass, goes to twist to run. Guy hits him in the back of the leg. Cleat sticks in the ground, pop.
He tried to go back in the game too.
He was jogging on the sideline.
Yeah, I remember.
I
speak
remember
to his toughness.
Yeah, shout out Joe, college roommate. I remember he's like, me being 17 years old, it's like, are you going to, I mean, you just tweaked your knee. Like, what are you doing? He's like, you're right. I'm going to try. And he's up jogging on it. He's like, dude, I think I'm good. Which now, a lot of ACL people that tear their ACL, they think it's fine.
You can straight line movements. It's fine. It's the cut.
And then when he went to cut and his leg boomeranged, we all knew something was up. And before we go down that path of the 2007 season, do you remember Joe's pregame speech before we played Taylor County?
I do.
Yeah. He wore we had a chain or something. He looked like Flavor Flav. You remember that?
Yeah.
But speech was good. I don't remember what the chain was for, but the speech was good. And we got beat that game, and then we rebounded and beat Adair County. And at that point we're 1-1, if I'm remembering this correctly.
And some players get suspended after that Adair County game too.
We do. There's a fight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But some players get suspended that weren't on the field.
Yeah. Never. They were not on the field. They seen a number. Yeah. And I don't want to misspeak their names, but being who they were, it was hilarious. It was funny. Yeah. They get suspended. Starters get suspended for fighting. You obviously can't throw punches. I can't even remember what started that fight. Do you remember?
I think it was just like a chippy play, maybe some shoving, and then
we were beating them pretty good.
Yeah,
and they didn't like it.
It turned into it was one or two guys into it. I want to think I remember the one or two guys involved, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to.
They may not want their name out there
associated with that. But we have nonetheless just remember the snowball effect.
Yeah, it was like one or two guys, and it turned into a bunch of guys coming to help their boy.
Yeah,
and then of course Adair County, like we're there. Yeah, it turned into a bigger thing.
Yeah,
than
it did. It turned into quite the mess. And remember the snowball effect that I'm talking about, or how something can spread, and it can spread fast. Okay, so we have a couple of starters get suspended that game, so we played and I can't remember the schedule verbatim, but
the next week we played LaRue County maybe,
and we lose.
Yeah,
who'd we play next?
Oh man, I think subconsciously I've tried to block some of that season. I usually remember.
My point being, one loss led to another, which led to more excuses, and it just snowballed. And when you're 17 years old, it does not take much. I can assure you, no matter who you are, at 17, you're not as strong mentally as you think you are.
Oh,
no. You don't have the miles on the tires to be very tough. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't take that as me saying there are no tough 17-year-olds, but as a group, when one guy gets down, it spreads. It spreads like a cancer. And
for sure.
And it doesn't take much for a group of 17-year-olds to get all on the wrong track. And I honestly think, the question being what caused the collapse of the 2007 team is numerous things. We obviously were not as tough mentally as we thought we were. Thus, why I wanted us to go run the stadium steps the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
To me, and my dad didn't say much to me about that year because I think he knew how much it was bothering me at the time. But he wouldn't say much, but when he would say something, it always stuck and resonated. And I just remember one time he was saying, "McKale, y'all just ain't as y'all just, you were used to winning in middle school, but you're just not as tough as you need to be right now." And that stuck with me. And he wasn't. I don't think he was talking about me as an individual. He was just talking about us as a whole.
Oh yeah.
But I took it as the Last Dance, Michael Jordan. I took that personally.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I may lose because I'm not fast enough, or I'm not strong enough, or I'm not quick enough, but I'm not going to lose because I didn't work hard. And if you remember, we started to put some of that together toward the end of the year. We beat Allen County at the end of the year. We played Greene County, which was, I mean, they were district champs. They were top 5 in the state at the time. They blew us out.
Was that the Metcalfe County semi-state run year?
That was.
Yeah. Greene County and Metcalfe were both solid that year.
They were. They played each other on our bye week.
Man, Greene County had a tough 3-year run, getting knocked out the round of the region every they had 3 good teams.
Yeah, they were loaded and they were good. I don't want to give them too much credit.
Yeah,
but they were good.
Sorry, Jordan, if you're out there listening.
But they played. When I went to see, now keep in mind this is 2007. We're not very good. We go up, of course. I can't remember if we played one of them the next week or not, but we went and watched them play each other.
Yeah.
And they were both, I'm thinking, both in the top 5 in 2A. The stadium was packed. And I just remember sitting there watching that game like there's no reason, none, why we can't do this. None. And that I took that and was like, why can't we do this? Why can't we have people coming at Friday at lunch reserving their seats? Why can't we, have that following? Why can't we be that good and crank out those wins like they did? There was no reason we couldn't have. And that, I got to say, watching that game is probably where it truly started, my mind.
Yeah.
Getting it where it needed to be as a leader.
My thoughts on I have trouble commenting on the 2007 season. Of course, I was on special teams. I'd get in here and there, but I was still really immature as an athlete, just as a kid. Like, man, I was still like pretty immature my sophomore year, so I wasn't paying attention to things like I should have been, and that's one of the things I look back on, and I'm like, why wasn't I killing it like in the weight room? Like, at that time, I was still a multi-sport athlete. I was still playing football, basketball, baseball, and a lot of that is why I stopped playing basketball and baseball. I can remember getting on the baseball bus during football spring practice one year, and I'm on the baseball bus, and we're headed. I don't know who we're playing, but we drive by the practice field, and I see all the football team out there, and I'm like, I want to be there.
Yeah,
like. Nothing against baseball.
No.
My dad was a heck of a baseball player, and he loved me playing, but it's just not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to put everything I had into this basket. But going back to what I was saying, my thoughts on the 2008 season comeback was, and I see this a lot as a coach too, is that it was player-led,
right?
And the players took ownership in the team.
Right.
The best teams that I've had in my last 6 or 7 years at the middle school are the ones where I'm just there. Yep. I'm just calling plays, I'm not having to get you ready to play. I can specifically remember 3 or 4 middle school teams where they've got 2 or 3 guys that they take control of the locker room.
Yep.
Then that makes it so easy on a coach. Now I'm not having to worry about getting you fired up and getting you ready to play and getting you like I've got guys doing that. I can worry on this, and this. What are we doing on the field? What can I do to make you better? That kind of that takes a load off a coach's shoulders. And your senior year was a huge shift in player ownership.
Right. 2007 was proof that it took more than just being a good football player to win games.
Yeah.
With the competition in the area and the teams that we were playing.
We had athletes on that team.
Yes, that senior class had players. Yeah. Some of them, they could play ball. And I hated that they're.
And I know we had some guys that dealt with injuries that year, like multiple injuries that played a role in that season.
Oh, they did. And some of those guys.
Neil was battling some stuff that year.
He did. He had a bad back.
Yeah.
Josh Harlan had bad knees and battled all year and played, snapped to his brother.
I want to think I want to think that last game or two we didn't have but 1 or 2 seniors playing.
A lot of them were hurt.
Yeah.
It was numerous things, and nothing in particular. And again, it was because that class had ball players.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing that unless you played with them and practiced with them every day, what we put out on the field Friday night was not a reflection of the skill that some of those guys had. And I hate it for them. And that was, to be honest, that was probably as much a motivation for 2008 as anything was redeeming those guys. You know, I'm still good friends with those guys. Yeah. I like them. It just, and you know, it took that, I guess, to put that bad taste in my mouth. And I don't want to make this all about me because you talk about it being a player-led team. Yeah. All it took was a couple of people to buy into that, and you see what happened. Yeah. And it's the same. You can do the same thing, and you know. Oh, and like you didn't have to. I mean, you didn't have to be up front. Like there were guys in your class leading the team without getting up and giving pregame speeches.
100%. And I'm still not a rah-rah.
We're all looking at Clint Jenkins in the weight room, like, God, I want to be that strong. He was insanely strong.
Yes, he was. And do you remember him getting sick?
Yes. I remember specifically one of the Wednesday workouts we had where
again, that's something that still bothers me about how and again, I wanted to right the ship. I wanted to spit that taste out of my mouth, and I apologized to Clint after the fact, you know, like, because I just thought he was just being soft. Yeah. I didn't know he had cancer.
And then he comes back and has a senior year.
The guy comes back, wins a powerlifting competition, starts, and is one of our best linemen.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He competed at the state level and had like a state championship in weightlifting, didn't he?
Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm almost certain he won his class.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to that.
Has anyone else in school history ever done that?
No. He asked me to go with him, but I didn't. I didn't think I'd do any good. To be honest with you, I was nowhere near his strength. I mean, it was just
insane.
He was otherworldly. For anything that come through that locker room at the time. Yeah, he was a different level of strong.
Such a tough guy. I mean,
and for those that we
had a lot of emotional catalysts that year too. Like play it like it was just
to see. And I want to explain, you know, for those of you that probably that don't know what happened that Wednesday, Clint was breathing pretty hard and laboring, and yes, it was cold, and we were, you know, 9 months or whatever it was away from playing any type of football again, and I just thought that he was being soft, just to be quite honest with you, and I let him know that. I thought he was being soft. And again, how stuff spreads, other people started getting on him about being soft. And when I found out that he was sick, that hurt me. That hurt me bad. I remember going to see him in the hospital, and I'll never forget that trip as long as I live. He had all that stuff hooked up to him, taking treatments, and I broke down, really. Said, man, I'm sorry. He's like, no. He's like, you were being the teammate. He said, you didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know. He said, I promise you you're good.
I remember that he sat in front of me in Kim Hedrick's pre-calculus class that year. And I remember, like, all you guys going down there. Y'all sat with him a lot of days down there.
Yeah, we did.
I remember being scared he wasn't going to get, like, not
we
even
know.
Like,
I mean,
we're scared he's not going to get to play. We're scared, like, what's going to happen. I remember, like, transplants being needed.
Yeah, and that's where, you know, the whole at that point we were just being tough on him. We weren't, you know, you remember the tough love slogan.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's good to tough love your teammate. You know, tell them what they need to know, but do it from a good spot. And what happened that day was probably not from a good spot on my part.
And then he comes back and he was a monster.
Absolutely.
Like, how many people do that?
I know, and it was quite remarkable.
So easy that's moments like that. It's so easy. It's like, I'm not going to play this year.
I'm just going to take my treatments, come back. No.
I bet he never had in his head he wasn't playing.
No, he's not that guy, and that's why, looking back, I should have known. Like, man, this ain't Clint. You know, this ain't him. But
you know,
I was just laser focused on
getting everybody in the right headspace, I guess.
I was talking to Neil about it the other day. He was saying he didn't know that we even did the Wednesday workouts until like recently.
Such a basketball player, right?
Yeah.
No, it was pretty much everybody that wasn't doing another sport.
Mm-hmm.
And there was really no structure.
That played a big role in me not wanting to play basketball.
Really?
Which me not being good at basketball played a bigger role, but like I wanted to be part of that.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't about getting in better shape. It was just about learning how to work hard.
Yeah.
Going the extra mile, doing the things you needed to do to be good. And I think it carried over.
Now, you used to coach at the high school level. You coached at the middle school and high school level, didn't you?
I helped. I wouldn't say I coached middle school. I'd just say that I helped when I could.
Mm-hmm.
Dean Smith was the head coach, and he asked me to come. He's like, just drop in when you can.
Yeah.
And I did. I was young, wasn't married. And it's like anytime I had time in the afternoon and they were practicing, I'd drop in. And I helped Billy Joe Murphy for 3 years at the high school level.
So how long has it been since you coached?
2019 was my last season. I did 17, 18, and 19. It was the 3 years.
What do you notice as the biggest shift in like high school athletes from when we were in school to now? What would you think?
They respond differently than back in the day. Now don't take that as me being the stereotypical. The kids ain't what they used to be. No, that's not what I mean.
Yeah.
They just respond. You can't jump a kid and crawl a kid like we were back, like we were done back in the day. I say that back in the day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think of it like my dad. I remember him talking about like when we were playing, him talking about how they were different when he played. But now there was a 30-year gap. We were different from guys in the 70s. But if you think about it, how much stuff has changed in the world since we were kids?
A bunch.
Like this 2010 to 20 is insane. Kids now have to deal with a lot of stuff we didn't have to deal with.
Exactly, and all that has contributed to the kids that you see today.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't take that. I coach some tough kids, kids, and some of them I still consider them friends today.
Oh yeah,
they were tough.
And I've coached kids that I could crawl.
Yeah,
bad.
And I did. We did too. They just weren't as. It wasn't as. You said that, and I've got a roster of kids rolling through my head right now. Like that kid was tough. That kid was tough. That kid.
But now I've coached some kids that I know like how they're not going to respond the same way as this other kid.
Like top to bottom, the 80 players we had, you could crawl 70 of them, and they were going to respond. The other 10 might not.
Mm-hmm.
Now that number is probably 10 to 15.
Yep.
Just my opinion. I'm probably going to catch a lot of heat for that, but you do what it takes to get the response you need out of kids.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Nick Saban at a coaches clinic one time. I got to hear Nick Saban speak, and that he was asked pretty much the same question.
Yep.
Because every good coach, every good leader adapts over time. They don't lead the same way they did when they first started as they did at the end of their career. None of them do.
Yeah.
He was asked pretty much the same question, how has kids changed? And he's like, kids are selfish today. You got to make it about them.
Yeah.
If the kids buying in.
Oh, for sure. If you look at college
basketball
sports, and NIL,
it's all about them.
They're taught to be selfish.
And you leave. Oh, I'm making $1 million this year. You're going to pay me 1.2.
Oh, and there's no penalty for bailing on your team.
No, you don't have to sit out. And we can go down that rabbit hole
here
in a minute. But he said, let me give you guys, this is Nick Saban speaking. He's like, let me give you guys an example about how you make it about them. He didn't name the guy's name, but I think most people will figure out who it is if you're a college sports fan. He said, add a linebacker. He said he was not a candy striper. He said he was a mean, good character, but when he put on the helmet, he was feared. First round draft pick, projected first round. He said it's the winter time, I guess, before the NFL draft, before he's supposed to be drafted.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking down sorority row, frat row, on a Thursday night or something. Somebody calls him something, says something to him, and he goes and takes care of the situation.
Yeah.
And is arrested. And instead of the Tuscaloosa police or whoever the agency was, instead of taking him to jail, they took him to Coach Saban. And which that speaks, to me, that speaks to him as a person. And he said, I called him in, set him down. And he said, and I've got this whole, kids are selfish. How do I make this about him? He said, I said, so-and-so, you're right now projected a first-round draft pick. Do you know what the average salary of a first-round draft pick is? No, Coach. $30 million. You were just arrested. He said, you were not booked in jail, but he said you were arrested. If they had took you to jail, that would have dropped you from first round to third round. Do you know what the average salary of a third-round draft pick is? No, Coach. $3 million. Is it worth $27 million for you to be right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it worth $27 million for you to set that guy straight or whatever? And he's like, absolutely not, Coach. You will not have have another problem out of me ever again.
And I love Nick Saban.
Yeah, and it's like, that it takes that type of leadership today with kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say too, it's not. Here in Monroe County, the kids here are a lot tougher than I would say nationwide.
Oh yeah.
So don't let my little comment thinking that kids aren't as tough or they just respond differently. I don't know how to explain it.
They respond differently and they deal with
stuff. And
we didn't have to worry about everything we did being recorded.
Exactly. And I could not imagine. Could you imagine if we was some of that stuff in the like in the locker room?
Oh yeah.
Not that we were just being heathens, but stuff that I don't know that I could have been the leader or tried to been the leader that I was if I knew that I was being recorded.
Oh yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
No wonder. I mean, we say that kids respond differently, but who raised them? We did.
Yep.
They just have all these different types of stressors that we aren't used to.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we're not used to them. So therefore, we don't know what they're thinking, and we don't know. And I see it in my kid all the time. My kid's got a play cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And knows she can unlock a cell phone and take a selfie. I found my wife found a selfie on her phone the other day, and it was like, it was cute.
Yeah.
But it's still in my mind. I'm like, man, she's 3 years old and knows how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So they grow up with so many different stressors that, to be honest, it's probably just hard for some of us to relate to.
Everything's follower driven, and how many people liked your post, and
then. Like I do social media just to keep up with people's families, and
we were probably
I may see something that I like and that I just don't even like.
We were probably the birth generation of social media. I remember when Facebook come out, it was probably my senior year when I got a Facebook page. I still have the same Facebook page I had my senior year.
I remember Facebook coming out, and it caught on during that 2008 football season, and I didn't want to add it because I didn't want to be distracted. I didn't add it till
I didn't want it because I thought I was on MySpace.
Yeah. MySpace was.
Oh, do you remember the MySpace top friends?
Oh yeah. Talk about a drama star, right? MySpace.
You had add your top 5 or whatever friends, and you got to deal with hey, why am I not your top friend?
Little did we know that was the birth of.
That was the birth of what these kids are dealing with.
Exactly.
We were doing
it to be goofy. Now it's been around so long that it's real.
Oh yeah.
And I used to say, social media is not real life, but man, it's been so ingrained that
we're doing it right now.
Yeah, it's this is real.
Yeah.
This is real. I don't know, man, and I'm glad that we didn't. Just to be honest, I'm glad we didn't have all this.
Oh yeah. I just think a thing.
What we're doing right now was something that we would have done without even thinking of recording. Back in the day. Oh yeah.
On the same topic, shifting a little bit, something on the topic of things evolving in athletics. Something else I've noticed coaching middle school football, and I want to get your take on it.
Okay.
Like the game is changing.
Absolutely.
And I'll relate it to middle school because I coach middle school. I've had games that I've coached in the last 2 or 3 years that we've passed the ball 25 times.
It's crazy, right?
When we played middle, how many times do you think we averaged throwing the ball a game?
Middle school?
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like I've had game. Like what? Do you think athletes are more explosive now, or like what do you think is creating that evolution?
I think it's just trendy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Trendy. You still see some teams, running the wing tee, and they run it to a perfection. And as long as they have that guy over their program, they're going to run that, and they're going to run it to perfection. But I just think it's the way that just the game has evolved.
Yeah.
I just think it's the way that kids are taught the game. I just think it's the evolution of the game. I mean, you just go all the way back to the first forward pass.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine being a defender in that game and that
like,
guy standing up, raising the ball to his shoulder, throwing it to a guy that you have who is that guy running down the field, and they complete the first forward pass? That change. I mean, that's why we have the offenses you see today. And I just think it's the way that I don't know that anything in particular other than, I mean, these guys that athletes, to answer your question, I guess in a more direct way, athletes are more athletic now than they have ever been. Coaches are smarter now than they have ever been. And I don't know if it's just the combination of the two. It's funner. I mean, it often points, as we used to say, points sell the tickets, defense wins the games.
Yeah. I feel like athletes are different. I don't know that. I feel like they're different as a whole. I feel like you see more explosive type athletes now than we did when we played.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. Absolutely. I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
I have to teach tackling different than we were taught to tackle.
Do you teach them to lead with their head? That's probably what's wrong with me today.
I'll say that a lot of things that I look into. Do you follow Luke Kuechly and Greg Olson?
Luke Kuechly is my favorite NFL player ever.
Do you follow they coach middle school football?
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Jonathan Stewart?
Can you imagine playing on that team?
Unreal.
Yeah.
Coach Kuechly, like Coach Olson.
I don't just copy and paste everything they do.
What did I say? Jonathan Taylor. I meant Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah.
Jonathan Stewart.
I watch a lot of Greg Olson's videos, and my first couple of years coaching, I was still this is how we did it kind of mentality, but I've adopted how I teach tackling, and just the way we were taught to tackle, hey, get your head across the ball, face mask on the ball, the pursuit angle, you're going to get hit with a cutback now.
Yeah.
But 80% of the time.
Yes.
You over pursue with that head across the ball.
I mean, you just look at, okay, let's go back to, let's talk about what we know. Let's talk about our teams. How many linebackers on our team had a neck roll? More often than not, you had a neck roll.
Yeah.
If you played linebacker or you played fullback, and even some running backs, you had a neck roll.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know why? Because you were going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the style of football that we played. Now, how many do you see with it?
No, I don't know the last time I saw one.
Very few. Because it's a hindrance when you're trying to play fast and trying to turn your head and play fast. It's a hindrance.
Yep.
The game is changing, and I would agree with you wholeheartedly. Guys, as I sit here and think about it, you see people break the 40-yard dash record every year.
Oh yeah.
You see people break bench press records at the combine every year. So yeah, guys are getting faster. Guys are getting stronger. And you're seeing it at a high school level too. I've seen it just in those 3 years that I coached. I remember there was this cat from E-Town. We went up there for a scrimmage, and I don't know that I've seen a guy that fast in a long time. I'm talking jet sweep, know it's coming, know it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Shift heavy that way.
Yeah. Nobody
touches him.
That's my favorite. I love a jet motion.
it draws a lot of attention if you
get the
do
personnel and the conditioning to just throw that in there. Oh, man, that's such a head. Like, I think about when I call offense. I think about when I played as a linebacker. Like what made me so mad. Like what bothered me.
Yeah.
Like if you've got a jet coming every play and you're having to shift and like that's so frustrating.
Yes, it is. Back to that, teams that do that wing tee, use all that motion and shifting. It's all just a distraction. And
we play a lot of guys in middle school that'll run like what I see. It's like a wing tee offense, but they'll run it out of a shotgun split backfield.
Yeah,
you can do all the same concepts.
Back to coaches being smarter.
Yeah, and
they put wrinkles in everywhere.
Now you've got everybody spread out, and it's just
you
run out.
Back when we was in middle school running it, you had an 8-man box every time, probably 9 if the safety was locked up.
I can name 2 games at middle school last year that we played where I bet the team we played threw the ball 85% of the game.
That's unreal.
It's a nightmare
and
trying to coach that game.
I can remember just in that 2006 and the 2005 and 6, my freshman and sophomore year when we was in Owensboro Catholic's district.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the other teams in the district were run-heavy teams. Did not pass the ball a whole lot, except Hart County. Do you remember Hart County? They run a spread offense, and they would spread you out, run 5 wide, run quads. Hart County and Owensboro Catholic, it was like you went from speaking English all year to speaking Chinese.
Oh, for sure.
Because I was not very, very adept at covering the pass, and then now I'm having to do it 25 times a game.
Well, and now you got teams putting you in situations where your outside backer's he's on a slot all game.
Yeah, man to man on a
he's
guy.
got to be athletic and quick. You can't just have a
That's why
meathead out there.
Those linebackers with neck rolls, they're not going to cover a slot receiver very well. That's why you see linebackers are nowhere near as big as they used to be.
Mm-mm.
Because you've got to be able to cover ground. You've got to be able to be shifty.
Boy, I played in the wrong era.
Yeah, I would have liked to have played in the 80s, the old wishbone wing tee.
I would like to play now. I was so undersized when I was playing. My senior year, I lied to Coach Pettit about my weight at the John. I lifted a weight class heavier because I didn't want him to know I only weighed 165.
Back to kids being tougher. How many 165?
I was telling Neil that story the other day. I remember we had the Jonathan Whitty Liftathon before my senior year. Of course, he would weigh us in like a day or two ahead of time or whatever. And I showed up and I weighed in with like rolls of quarters in my pockets.
Wow, that's one.
I wore multiple pairs of basketball shorts and jogging pants. I stuffed them with rolled quarters. And I was afraid. I remember I'm like, I don't want to go back to playing DB this year.
Yeah. Which, that very well could have happened if you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, kids are just, times are different. Football's different. And I love it. I'm here for it.
I love watching it.
I'll watch it. But I will turn on an old NFL films and old game.
At the same time, though, some of the old ways are coming back around too. You're starting to see NFL teams run an option again.
They are.
Like
you're starting. There for a while, no teams carried a fullback on the roster,
and
then now you're starting to see them come back.
No, I'm ready to see another Mike Alstott or.
Oh yeah, Mike Alstott's the reason I wore number 40.
Oh yeah,
in middle school. Yeah.
Man, he was a monster.
The A train, yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the very few people that could bring a stand of 60,000 people to their feet on a 4-yard run.
Oh yeah.
Because he trucked a 350 pound.
You want a good time? Get on YouTube, throw on a Mike Alstott.
I used to do that. I used to do that in college before games.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Man, I loved it.
Or Troy Polamalu, or before Luke Kuechly come around, because it was kind of weird. Like I started and like I said, Luke is my favorite player all time, just because the way he approached the game was the way that I attempted to approach the game. Being smart, being tough, being a good guy off the field. It was, but yeah, I threw on the A train 4 games watching them.
Oh man, I loved
truck
it.
People.
One of my submitted questions is: did you enjoy playing college football, and what did you see as the biggest difference between high school and college?
I absolutely love playing college football. part of the reason I am today is because of college football. It's a rare experience that, very few guys ever get that opportunity to do that. And I'm glad I done it.
Yeah.
Now my body, on the other hand, probably says differently. I've just got about 60% use out of my neck. But yes, I love playing college football. I love the guys I played with. Still very, very good friends with a lot of those guys. Played, for those of you that don't know, I played at Campbellsville for 4 years. Was fortunate enough to letter all 4 years, so got a pretty good dose of it. The biggest difference to me, and you played. Did you play a little? Did you play?
Not long enough to count.
You played long enough.
I played long enough to know
what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
the difference between high school and college is the work.
Yeah.
Man, it's so much more work.
It's a job.
It is a job. I tell people that all the time. That
it's a job.
You see people that, the comment was made a couple times to athletes in college that, I work and go to school. You just play a sport. Like, well, you want to trade?
Yeah.
And that's not a knock. But it is very, very similar. The 6 a.m. workouts, the film studies, the study halls, the practices, the training room. I mean, it is a full-time if you do it right and you want to be as good as you can be, it is a full-time job. And there's going to be a lot of days, just like work, there's going to be a lot of days you don't want to go. Like, man, I really don't want to go to this 6 a.m. weight session before anybody else on campus is up. But, again, back to enjoying working hard, I enjoyed the guys I was with, and at some point, once you got over the sleepiness, it was we was getting after it. We was making the wall shake at 6 a.m. lifting weights.
Oh yeah, of course I signed some guys from like me and Jordan and Troy. We committed to go to Lindsay. It's hard to speak on it. I didn't play long enough to count as playing college football. I wasn't on the team long enough to go back and tell anybody I was a college football player, but I experienced enough of it to know what you were going to have to sacrifice to do that. And I don't want to say I regret not playing. There's a lot of what ifs.
Yeah.
I live with I live with that a lot. I made an impulsive decision to not play, and I wasn't prepared. I didn't have relatives in my family that played college sports. I didn't talk to a ton of people that played anything in college. I didn't know what I was walking into.
Yeah.
And it was,
if you don't know what you're walking into, or you don't have a good
culture shock.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I can remember, and it wasn't me, but I can remember one of the first guys that walked in the locker room with a logo of a high school jersey of a high school team.
Yeah.
And one of the seniors was like,
Take that off.
Yeah. You don't play there anymore.
Yeah.
You play here. And sometimes you see the stubborn college kid that's from Fancy Mancy High School that's got 4 state rings. I ain't taking my shirt. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Wrong answer, buddy.
I bet it wasn't on 30 minutes later.
No, if it was still one piece.
I can name a bunch of guys I went to school with that started to play when I did that. And I'm not going to call any names, but I can tell you a bunch of guys that why'd you quit? It's, my knees. And
yeah,
everybody's got an excuse. I was point blank. I got homesick.
Yeah.
I got that schedule my first day that we showed up to camp, and I was immediately sick. I'm like, I'm not going home.
No,
until
you're not.
Christmas break.
Again, back to the work. You get handed that schedule, and it's booked from 6 a.m. to 9
p.m. That's tough when you're 35 minutes from your house.
Yes.
And you're like, I can't go there.
Yep.
I can't drive down the road. And there were a few days here and there I was going to get to come home for a couple hours and then head back, but I wasn't coming home until Christmas break, probably Thanksgiving break maybe. And it made me sick. And those nights coming back to the dorm and bed check and lights are off and we didn't have car keys. And Like,
man, that first semester there, like it's so
lonely.
Oh man, because nobody else is on campus.
Yeah.
Like people think that like, oh, school's in session, you're back. No, for a month or longer, you are the only. You and what other fall sports? Soccer might be in. Most of the time they come in a couple weeks later than football. You are the only ones on campus, and it is just you all, and all you have is each other. And as a freshman, you don't know none of them, and you're fighting for a spot. Oftentimes, you're underdeveloped physically, and you're with a new group of guys.
Yeah.
And they're not guys you grew up with. They're guys from California, from New York. Excuse me, California, New York, Texas, Florida. I mean, they're from all over. And for somebody that grew up in Tompkinsville, Kentucky, that's a culture shock.
I'll ask you this. Do you think I would have had a different experience had I gone to a place that wasn't a first-year program with 100? See, that's –
absolutely, you would have.
So I go to Lindsey Wilson, and I remember being a kid, and I'm looking at it like, oh, it's their first year, a bunch of freshmen. Maybe I'll get to play.
Yeah.
And I show up, and I'm like, no, these guys are all studs.
Yes.
And now none of them are graduating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to compete for playing time with the same guys for 4 years. And it not just that, every day we're there, I'm seeing faces I'd never seen before. I didn't know any of these guys. And, of course, there was a class that got signed the year before, like Jared was up there and Justin was there and Maxie was there.
Yep.
They were all there. They had a year to kind of become friends, but, I mean, you're at Campbellsville and you're going into guys that have been 4 or 5 years building a brotherhood.
Yes.
And we're all still kind of.
You guys didn't have any on-team mentors because it was all new to everybody still.
Yeah.
I showed up and there's guys that's been there, 5 years, 22-year-old men, not 22-year-old guys, not 22-year-old, but 22-year-old men that had been away from home for 4 years that knew what it was like for me. They looked at me and was like, that was me not too long ago. And I can, I can still see some of those guys today that took me under their wing and was like, it's going to be all right, man. Hang with it. If you got any doubt, go home, But if you ain't got no doubt, lay with it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, that was the benefit. Because I thought about that a lot, because, I had teammates at Lindsey Wilson and then Joseph was at Campbellsville with me. And our experience, no doubt, was different than your all's because of the competition was, I'm not going to say it was higher, but I'll just say it was different because we had all those upperclassmen and then all you guys were relatively new. It was a pretty tall totem pole.
You go to I think there's a misconception about NAIA schools.
There's a major
You get kids around here that look at it and they're like, oh, that's a small school. Hey, I can go win some play. No. You go to Lindsey Wilson, Campbellsville, Union, 99% of the guys you're looking at, they're in the top 3 on their high school team from the year before. Those guys, they're not used to riding the bench.
No.
They're not used to competing for playing time.
And they're not going to. No, you're going to. I tell people all the time, imagine the hardest hit that you took in high school.
Now you're getting it from everybody.
Now you're getting that ever. Imagine the toughest lineman that you played in high school. Now put all 5 of them out there.
Yeah.
Imagine the best running back you ever played in high school. You've got a stable of them now.
Yep.
It's completely different. I don't care what level you're at. We mentioned Neil a couple of times. We talk about it all the time. Neil played at Western and then transferred to Campbellsville. He's like, man, he said, I was blown away. He said, I got to Campbellsville, and he's like, these guys could play at Western. Oh, yeah. I tell people, too, in my position, what I know is, defense and linebacker. Most of the time, the biggest difference is size. NAIA guys are oftentimes just as fast. You're just missing some length, some height, and maybe a little strength.
Yeah.
Athleticism is there. I mean, I watched a guy run a 4.38 on a laser one day at Campbellsville University. It's to your point. I think it's gonna. It's hard to explain. It's hard to convince people that unless you've done it and seen it and lived it every day. I watched a guy, squat 6. Our nose tackle. This is our nose tackle. He started. He was not your average nose tackle. He was good. I seen that guy. Shout out Henry Banham-Becker. I seen him squat 625 and bend a bar. Whew. Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
then I go see him run like a sub 540.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I'm like, okay, that we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Yeah. Like, this is different.
That's insane.
And then there I am, like freshman from Tompkinsville, Kentucky, just hanging in there like a hard biscuit trying to.
I would encourage anybody to go. I mean, if you live within an hour of an NAIA football program, go watch a game.
Yeah.
It's good football.
Yes, it's good football.
You see fun football. You see some.
Lindsey Wilson was the national championship
I
many
think
years
some
ago?
of your best football coaches in America are NAIA football coaches.
Yeah, I agree. And some of your best players, in my opinion, I know I'm biased, but some of the most underappreciated players in America are NAIA football players. You're not playing NAIA football for the glory.
Mm-mm.
You're playing because you love to play football. And guys that love to play football that aren't getting a lot of glory. They have a little. They play with a little extra.
Your D1 coaches, I feel like, get caught up in the mold. Do you look like an NFL lineman? Do you look like a D1 running back?
Yeah.
NAIA players or NAIA coaches probably recruit more. Can you play?
Yeah. Do you got what it takes to play ball?
Yeah.
Are you not going to be a troublemaker?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll say NAIA players have to check less boxes than D1. You know, we've had some D1 or, mainly Billy Joe Murphy from here played D1 ball. Billy Joe checks a lot of boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Joe can move to be that big. Billy Joe was strong.
Oh, I remember.
I mean, and he started a couple of games as
shout
a
out
freshman.
to the boss.
Yeah, shout out to the doctor, Dr. Murphy. But no, he's one of my best friends, and we talk ball all the time.
Can you remember his pregame speeches when he was a senior?
Absolutely.
He gave some of the best.
Before we start that, I need to go use the bathroom.
You're good. You're good.
Before we go down that rabbit hole, but yeah, I'll talk about his leadership here in a minute too.
Yeah. And we're back. I wish I had a Jamie to cut things back on. Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, young Jamie, pull that up. But yeah, what was we talking about?
Billy Joe. Dr. Murphy. Dr. Murphy.
Dr. Murphy, yeah. Yeah, he was I got to know Billy Joe growing up. Actually, let's just go back to Little League.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to Little League. He denies remembering this, but I remember it very vividly. He was the starting center for the Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say that we were called, I can't remember what our team, we was the Wildcats.
Wildcats. Before they were the Titans.
We was the Wildcats. He was the starting center as a sixth grader, and I was the starting nose guard. I take that back. I wasn't starting I was the nose guard for this play. He walks out, and I look up. Okay, not going to take this guy on. I was at least smart enough to know that. So I decided that I'm going to monkey crawl through his legs. He just falls on me.
Oh, man.
Dislocates my elbow. My elbow gets wrapped up under me and dislocates it. So, yeah, shout out Dr. Murphy for my first football-related injury. But, yeah, growing up, I always looked up to Billy Joe. Everybody did. I mean, heck of an athlete, conducted himself. Everybody knows how he conducted himself. Just an easy guy to look up to. Very personable. 2006, I'm a sophomore. He's a senior, and a lot of times after school, I didn't have my license at the time, and a lot of times after school, they was him or Chase Kendall. I would jump in with them after school, and they never missed. They didn't care a bit to take me. Let's go get a burger before the game, or let's go hang out at the house a minute before the game. And I always appreciated that, looked up to him for that. But I can remember one time after practice, it was Billy Joe, Chase Kendall, me, and Joseph Eaton. And in 2006, which would have been their senior year, we started out 0-3. And I think that's right?
Yep.
It was 0-3, and
you may want to pull the mic a tad closer. Sorry to interrupt your story.
No, you're good. Keep me in line. But we started out 0-3 and had way too much talent to be 0-3. like just wasn't clicking. And I remember Coach Pettit called me, Joseph, Billy Joe, and Chase off to the side. And I can remember, back to remembering where he was at, I can remember the spot on the practice field we were standing when he tells us this. He's like, this is an absolute joke that we're 0-3 right now. And he looked at Billy Joe and Chase. He's like, you two should be better leaders than this. And they were good leaders, but he was just doing what a coach should do, trying to light a fire. And he looked at me and Joseph, who were sophomores, and he's like, and I don't want to hear about you two being too young anymore. He's like, you're starting on this team. I don't care how old you are. You need to play like a starter for this team. Reel off 7 wins in a row after that.
Oh, yeah. You remember the Frankie Barron County halftime speech?
Yes. Shout out Frankie Copus. Yes, that was the turning point for the year, 100%.
Yeah, were we down 21-0 at half?
21-0, yeah. About on the verge of being 0-4, which, I mean, that sickens me to say that we were about to be 0-4. And he brought up Little League football.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all remember how fun that? I can hear it to this day. Do y'all not remember how fun that was back when we used to have fun playing football?
Mm-hmm.
Changed the course of the year.
Oh yeah,
that and putting Seth Graves at running back.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt anything.
No, that does not hurt.
I can remember Billy Joe's pregame speeches, like as a freshman. You know how tough that is as a freshman to listen to that pregame speech, and you run through the paper and you're ready to go through a brick wall. Now you got to come down from that, because you're standing there for 48 minutes now.
Yeah, I mean, his leadership style. I'm not going to lie to you. I tried to mimic it a lot, just to be honest with you. I mean, because Billy Joe worked hard.
Yeah,
and to be good at the high school level, Billy Joe had enough athleticism and size.
I feel like
he didn't have to work hard and could have dominated still.
Yeah.
But he did anyway.
I feel like I can still remember him when he was at Kentucky coming back to the weight room.
Him and Jake Lenevsky. Yeah. I can remember meeting up with them, running into them,
mm-hmm.
Seeing them at Dovey's or something, and they just got done lifting.
Yeah.
It's for those of you listening, work ethic and working hard, it will take you places.
Control the things you can control.
I have that on a sticky note on my desk.
Yeah.
Literally about right here in front of my face. Control what you can control.
Be coachable and work hard.
Exactly.
That's so easy to do.
And it takes zero talent.
Yeah.
It takes zero talent.
Exactly what I was about to say.
It takes zero talent to do that. But what got us on Billy Joe? What was we talking about?
We were talking about. I asked if you remembered his pregame speeches.
That's right.
But I don't remember.
Short answer, yes. I
don't remember.
Just said yes. I remember that.
I don't remember why I brought that up.
But he was a good leader, man. And losing that last playoff game, I can still. He's probably not going to like me bringing this up, but I can still see him just wilted after that.
And as an underclassman, as a freshman, who's like kind of just happy to be there. You see that loss at the end of the year, and you realize what this means to people.
Yes.
Like, man, now I'm 3 years away from that instead of 4.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of time left.
I can remember that same moment for me as a freshman. I can remember we lose to Caldwell County in overtime.
I was at that game. I remember that was my 8th grade year, right?
Yes.
That was me and Neil sat next to each other at that game. And when it was over, I remember me and him looking at each other and saying, we're high school football players now. Like, this is it's the last time we're going to watch a game for a while.
Yep. I can remember after that loss, I can remember, shout out Logan Williams. I can remember Logan Williams not wanting to take his uniform off because he knew it was going to be the last time. He wore that uniform long after I left the stadium as a freshman, and that's he probably don't even know that.
Yeah,
that resonated with me. Like, man, like he was, of course, crying just like we all was. Like that was it for him. He was never going to put that uniform on again, and he knew that. And I can just remember him saying, "Man, I just don't want to take it off. I don't want to take it off."
Football is such a tough That's a tough one because, like, basketball, you can play pickup games for the rest of your life. Baseball, I mean, there's baseball rec leagues for men, and you can play slow pitch softball and golf and tennis, but football, like, it's never. I mean, we can go get a group on Thanksgiving and play some two-hand touch and probably.
But you're never gonna put the leather on again.
No, it's not gonna be the same.
And I tell my wife that all the time. My wife was a very good athlete, very good softball player, played in college. I tell her that all the time. Like, honey, football's just different. Like, you just don't know. One, you play less games. A loss hurts so much worse in football than it does any other sport. One loss can wreck your entire season in football. Just that brotherhood you build. You know, football is one of the rare sports where you play when it's really, really cold.
And really, really hot.
And really, really hot. And the weather can wear on you. The weather builds you too. I mean. Oh,
you go through it together. That brings teams together.
Yeah.
It's like you all went through something together, and now you're in it.
And there's that physicality part that no doubt plays a role in how tight you are. Like, there's no doubt that the fact that you literally just tried to somewhat hurt each other, and now you're best buds.
Yeah.
Like, there's something about that I can't explain to people that's never experienced it, how that helps build a bond.
There's no feeling like that first time you see another color jersey across from you after hitting each other all summer.
Yeah, for like four or 5 weeks.
Now it's
you've
your
done
turn,
that.
bud.
Yeah. Thank you. Fresh meat.
Yeah.
And
how far does that 06 team go if we win the Glasgow game?
Man. I'll say it again, man. That was a hard loss.
Yeah.
A lot of good football players' careers ended too early that game. A lot of guys I looked up to went home early that game. How far do we go? Well, let's see. The next round we host, if we win, we host Owensboro Catholic, which we beat earlier in the year. And this is a debate that I have with some every so often. You know, do we beat them again? And I'm going to say yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being, you know, for a while they were unbeatable to us.
Yeah.
They were like, man, we can't. Why are they even in our district? This team's 2 hours away. Why are they in our district? To now, it's like when Rocky Balboa was fighting the Russian.
Yeah.
Ivan Drago, he's bleeding rock. He's human.
We found a chink in the armor now.
So okay. I think we beat them again. I do.
I think we beat them worse.
I do. That's my point. It's like, okay, there's a chink in the armor. We've drew blood. Now let's make it hurt. The next game I think we play, if we win, and you help me, I want to say it's maybe Trigg County, which was a very good team.
Yeah, but I feel like it's probably a step down from OCATH, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know enough about that.
At the time, I think.
In our minds, it probably would have been.
At the time, I think we go into that thinking.
We just beat the.
Yeah, we just beat.
Yeah. Little do we know, there's a team called Mercer County that's on the other side of the bracket.
Who like to play with 19 and 20-year-olds around that era.
Yeah, they were, and I actually played college ball with some of those.
Do you remember the year that they got some wins vacated?
Was it Mercer County?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, they had. There was a season. I think they came down and played Monroe that year, and the next season they got a bunch of those wins vacated. They had some ineligible guys on the team, too old.
Didn't know that. But that year,
I think if I'm misspeaking, somebody
I'm not going
in the comment section.
This is free. This is free form conversation. Scrutinize all you want.
I'm pretty sure.
That year, Mercer County, they consolidated with Harrodsburg like right before the season started.
Yep.
So they were playing 2A ball with like a 5A, 6A roster.
Yeah.
And
had some good buddies in college from there.
And I did too. A couple of linebackers off that team was actually in our linebacker room at Campbellsville. They could play. They were tough. But they were beating the brakes off everybody.
Yeah.
So whether we beat Trigg or not, I think we eventually run into Mercer County, and it's good night, Irene.
Let's see. I'm going to ask our close buddies question now.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the class of 2010 as a whole? And I assume he's talking about the football class.
Okay. Assuming we're talking about the football class, I mean, y'all are like brothers to me. I mean, my thoughts are, I mean, we're not successful in 08 without y'all.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time that, our scout team gets second in the district that year. Our scout team gets second in the region that year. The guys that we played in, some of y'all started. I mean, I have the utmost respect for the guys that I played with and played the younger guys. I probably didn't do a good job at the time letting them know that, just to be quite honest with you. They probably thought that, man, this guy's such a jerk. He's driving us to death. He's just downright mean sometimes. And I probably was, but it come from a spot of just wanting us to be good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I had the utmost respect for 2010. Yeah. I don't know if it was a question pointed in like a different.
I think the guy asking the question maybe thinks that we get a little underappreciation from other people, not from you.
Well,
from the broader brushstroke.
The last time I checked, y'all got a regional championship trophy just like we do. So, y'all earned it just like we did, and y'all did it. Y'all did it just like we did. I would like to think that you guys took the same principle. I mean, back to drawing that blood. And back, we drew blood in 2008 and knew that, oh man, we can win a regional title here.
Yeah,
we can play big boy ball here, and y'all did it.
Yeah.
It's to think that I don't underappreciate, and I thought. And some people ask me after, I was done playing high school ball, like, how good do you think they're going to be? How good do you think they're going to be? I'm like you're asking that in like a pointed way, like you want me to say, they ain't going to be good. Yeah. We're gone. They ain't going to be good. No, absolutely not.
Oh, and you run across guys that are like, you almost run across some people that don't want the next class to do well.
And I was not that way. People might have thought that.
That's an insane mindset to have.
That's so silly. Like, why would you not? Like, you literally just spent 3 years with these guys playing ball. Why would you not want them? That is a very selfish mindset.
I want Monroe County to win the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah. Like that's my like that. A lot of who I am as a person is because I played football in Monroe County. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I played again. I mean, like I said, a lot of times our scout teams, the scout team that we practiced against, and people that listen to this that don't know what a scout team, that's who the starters practice against. They were tougher than some of the teams we were playing on Friday night, the scout team. I mean, I can remember violent collisions with guys packing the ball on our scout team. Very violent collisions. And a lot of times on Friday nights you weren't getting that from the other team. And to think that practicing against guys like that was not going to do well the next year, that just wasn't my mindset. I had no doubt you guys were going to be good. Now, did I know at that time, if you'd asked me, are they going to win the regional championship? Man, I don't know. I mean, it takes – you got to be healthy. I don't know if you're going to be healthy.
You have a lot of stuff fall into place at the right times for that.
But if you just said, would it shock you if they did?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. You got some of the best ball players coming back. I mean, good leaders on the team.
I think at the time what people that maybe they didn't grow up playing football, maybe they didn't have family members. Like, I feel like a lot of people get wrapped up in the numbers, and they're like, "Oh, their 22 seniors are gone, and you've only got what do we have 4 returning starters, if that."
Really?
I don't think we had many. You had Neil, Tanner, Rocky.
You can put Trevor Whitty in there, I guess.
Yeah.
He started some.
Yeah. I mean, we had less than 6 returning starters.
Yeah.
So that, like, people get wrapped up in that number. They don't see what's happening in practice. They don't see what's happening in the weight room. They don't,
Yeah, and that goes, I mean, I've heard Coach Pettit in high school and then Coach Thomas in college, reading the press clippings will get you in trouble
Oh, yeah.
one way or the other. Because they don't know, they don't matter, and they don't know what's going on here. Do you remember the Coach Pettit? Go home and listen to your mama.
Yeah.
If you want to feel good about how you practice today, go home and listen to your mama.
I've used that one a couple times.
But that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, back to, do you think 2010? I don't know. Go listen to your mama.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Of course, I don't speak for everybody. I think I probably speak for a few people. And I don't want this to come off in any kind of negative way. Like, some of the guys in your, I've got friends from your class that are some of my best friends in life.
Yeah.
So I don't mean this in any negative way. But, from middle school to senior, sometimes it was tough following y'all.
Yeah.
Middle school, y'all were undefeated 7th grade, 8th grade. I think your freshman team went undefeated.
Yeah, we did.
And there were a lot of...
Again, I hated losing.
Yeah. And there were a lot of memories that we have of, so I can remember in 8th grade, you guys are gone. And a lot of those, they didn't do that last year kind of talks. We kind of maybe came in with a chip on our shoulder. Not that we disrespected anybody, but it's like, hey, we're not them.
This is our time.
Yeah.
This is our time. No.
Yeah.
And I think, outside looking in, you could tell that.
Mm-hmm.
The way y'all played.
We were chippy.
Yeah. And to
Our,
be honest,
class,
that made me proud.
Those
my guys. That's the way you're supposed to play the ball game here.
I
don't blame you.
I think of your class, I think business-like mentality. That's the word that always comes to mind. You guys showed up, you had a job to do, you did your job.
Yeah.
I think of my class, I thought we were probably a little more emotional.
Yeah.
We probably played a little more emotion. We probably there wasn't a lot of rah-rah before the game or anything, but we kind of had something to prove.
Yeah. And every team has its own identity.
Mm-hmm.
And thank goodness it does, because would it be boring to watch the same team every year.
Yeah.
I think we developed that business-like mentality to kind of get maybe a little emotion out of it.
Yeah.
Forget how you feel.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Forget how you feel. Forget the day you had. Show up and do your job. Take care of your brother. Play hard. And now that you say that, it only makes sense that you guys, we've done the business like the stoic.
Yeah.
Let's take care of it. Now let's bring some juice.
Yeah.
Let's bring some energy to this game.
It probably took people from the community and outsiders a little bit to get used to us.
Yeah.
We weren't you guys.
Yeah.
I can specifically, if you ever listen, Neil's got the audio tapes from the radio, from when you played and I played. Have you ever listened to any of those?
Some. I'd love to just make time and sit down and listen to those.
I went back and I listened to the Greene County Region Championship game in the car. I'm in the truck by myself, and I guess it was John Osgothorpe had asked John before the game, his thoughts, and he talked. He kind of gave us a hard time in that pregame interview. He's I don't think they know. I don't think they understand the moment. I don't think they're ready. Yeah. Of course, we'd had some stuff go on in the locker room before that game.
I think I've heard that story a time or two. Maybe some horseplay a little.
Yeah. So he's giving us a hard time on the radio. Maybe prefacing this might not go the way we want it to.
An opportunity to put a beat down on him.
Yeah, he didn't think we were mentally ready, but now we're all there. We know.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing to get in the mood to play.
Yeah.
And I can remember. You remember the walk at Greene County from the locker room
up the.
So Coach Pettit.
Explain that to people that's never made that walk before.
That's my favorite place to play.
Mine too.
If I can go back to high school and play, I don't care to play that game. I want to play it there again. So you dress
before you remember the fog?
Yes. It's like a movie. I'm getting chills. I've got chills.
It was like a movie.
And then Greene County would walk out. You would see them come from the top of the hill,
and they did it as a mind game.
Yeah,
which is why it was so tough to play.
And that got me fired up. They're doing it as you don't.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Explain it to what
they don't realize what we're seeing them all right.
Yeah.
We're about to take this.
Yep.
So you dress in the basketball locker room, I guess,
in the
school
gym somewhere
at the bottom of the hill.
Yep.
And then you've got a track to the football field. Just a long walk to think and all this. And then you get there and the football field's in I would describe it as like a valley.
It's a bowl, yeah. When you walk behind the bleachers, you're at the top
yep.
of the bleachers looking down.
Then the
bowl.
game, it's one of the best places to play in Southern Kentucky. Like,
yep.
now Daryl Carter's number one. I'm going to stick with that bias and all. But now if I'm going on the road, I want to go to Greene County.
Yeah.
And then first, second quarter goes by, the barbecue smoke starts rolling in. It's like a battlefield.
Yeah, it does. It looks like if you just take the players off the field, it looks like a
like you think Gettysburg just happened.
Yeah, it looks just like a Gettysburg movie. Like there's
so I remember Coach Pettit's talk on the radio. I listened to that. I'd never heard it before until like a year ago. But I remember Coach Pettit's leading us up to the field. And he's y'all aren't ready, y'all aren't, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I remember he gets his little spill out, and then maybe right behind Coach is Neil, and then it's Jake Proctor, and then I'm behind Jake. And I remember Rocky goes, Coach Pettit, we're about to make you the best coach in Monroe County history.
Wow. I
remember that.
I'd never heard that story before.
Yeah, he'd like, chill out.
That makes my hair stand up too. Like,
I remember.
Coach, we're about to put you in the record book.
Yep. I remember that like it was yesterday, and I'm like, that got me going.
Yeah.
Like, we are.
Absolutely.
And then the game starts, and Neil, I don't know if you remember how Neil played. Neil didn't get up and celebrate.
No, he was the last one out of the tunnel.
That first big run Neil has in the Greene County game, he got up with some juice.
Yep.
And I don't remember who's standing next to me. Maybe Andrew Johnson. I looked at him. I said, game's over.
Yep. Yep. Y'all done woke him up.
Yeah. But
and y'all did, man. I wasn't. Of course, I was playing college ball at the time, and I just remember seeing that score like they did it.
Yeah.
Like they.
Oh, and it felt so good to avenge that senior night district championship loss.
I didn't know that was senior night.
The senior night district championship game, like that was the last district game. We knew it was for the seeding, so that one hurt, and it hurt like not to make it about me. I had broken my hand. I
remember
before.
watching the tape and seeing your club.
Mm-hmm.
I remember and again, back to how often do you see that now?
Yeah. I've got another story about that one that kind of makes me feel a little good. But I had broken my hand in practice earlier that week. Of course, I didn't know it was broke. I just knew it hurt bad.
Probably didn't even go to the doctor.
I didn't tell my dad. I didn't tell anybody. But it was killing me. So we're playing senior night, halftime. Coach White calls me over, and I was mad at him at the time, but looking back, he's just looking out for me. Calls me over and he looks at my hand. He's like, "You're done." I'm like, "No, I'm not." No, so I didn't even play the second half of that game. So I'm standing there watching this happen to us. That feels a little different. So I go to the doctor. On Monday, X-ray. Sure enough, Dr. Tony X-rayed it, and some like 2 millimeter shift of the metacarpal, whatever it is, and
felt real good.
I broke that bone and that one. Then we go. He sends of course, Dr. Tony's like, I told him like, what do I got to do? I'm playing. What do I need? So he's like, well, he sends me to. I won't say the doctor's name because there were some conversations there.
Yeah.
I go to the doctor, and
I get it.
He's getting ready to cast it,
mm-hmm.
and he comes in. He has a talk with me and my dad, and he's like, I can't clear you to play. I hate to break the news to you. Your season's over." And I was like, "I'm not here to get clearance. I've got that back home. I just need some hardware."
Yeah, I just do your job, doc. That's not your job.
Yeah.
And that sounds crazy. I'm sure that sounds crazy to people that didn't play, but
oh, I remember the nurse.
So many times I did that with my shoulder. We hadn't talked about that, but.
The nurse at the doctor's office specially left my fingers open so I could still she knew I was a football player, and her son had the same thing. She wanted me to be able to grab. Yep. So she hooked me up, and then
that's a nurse that understands.
Fast forward to the Bardstown game. I'm a captain before the Bardstown game. I'm gonna take a drink.
So I didn't know y'all played. Okay, so explain your playoff path again.
Washington County home, Bardstown on the road, Greene County on the road.
Gotcha. I'd forgot y'all played Bardstown again.
Bardstown, I think we set the school record for points scored in a quarter. We were 14 to 14. 14 to 14 at some point in the game, and then we ended up winning the game 40-something to 14. most of the points are scored in one of the quarters.
Yeah.
I think somebody out there knows more. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm a captain before the Bardstown game, and I'm walking out with my club. Bardstown's got a kid, and he's walking out in street clothes, and he's got a cast that looks a lot like mine. And we're shaking hands like, "What'd you do?" He said, "I broke the metacarpal bone in my thumb." He said, "What'd you do?" I said, "I broke the metacarpal bone in my thumb." And he's walking back in his jeans. Like,
you just ruined that kid's life. He's like, "Man, I'm soft."
Yeah.
Yeah, you are, man.
I remember.
Again, I mean, that was not uncommon, for guys to just say do what they needed to do to play.
Now, your shoulder, was that a separation?
Man, it started out just as a torn labrum. It's it developed into a torn labrum, chipped bone, strained AC joint,
now,
some rotator cuff damage.
Did it start the Campbellsville scrimmage, or was there some stuff leading up to that?
It happened the Thursday before the Campbellsville scrimmage. The Thursday before the Campbellsville scrimmage, I was a starting fullback at that time. We run a lot of option.
Yeah.
And we were repping the option, and I did not, for those of you that played, you fake whether you get it or not, you fake the dive as a fullback. And for some reason, I brought my arm up in a different way than I normally did. And it caught Justin Harlan's, I don't know if it caught his arm, his leg, it caught some part of him as a quarterback faking the dive. And I just remember it snapping my shoulder. And I thought that I just dislocated it. It was out of place. It was out of place. And they send me to the hospital. They do the MRI. And again, this is like the Wednesday or Thursday before the first scrimmage of my senior year. The last time, at that time, I had not gotten any offers and did not honestly anticipate getting any at that time. So I'm like, there's no way that I'm letting this stop me. They ordered me a brace called the Sully, and the Sully brace, you'll still see it on TV today, and I'll see it and I'm like, yep, know all about that. Well, while we're on this story, I'll tell a funny Ronnie Butler story for the group. So come to find out, I just torn my labrum. I tore it pretty bad, but it was no major damage at that time. But it hurt. The Dr. Tony's like, I think it was Dr. Tony. Would shout out Doc Tony, best doctor in the world. He's like, it's one of those things you can't make any worse.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's all I need to hear.
Yep.
Like, suit me up. That's all I need to hear. It's like, I'm not going to permanently maim myself. So they order this Sully brace, and there's two different ways to hook up this brace.
I think I've heard this story.
There's two different. You can hook it up. You can hook it up posteriorly or anteriorly. And I think, for the doctors out there, don't hold me to this, I had it tore one way. So it needed to be hooked up a specific direction. And Ronnie Butler's helping me put this on for the very first time. He hooks it up the opposite way that it was supposed to. So it is actually pulling my arm out of place. I'm like, he's like, just get used to it, and you'll get it works.
Got to break it in.
You'll get used to it. I'm like, yes, sir. I put my pads on, and we run a fullback dive. Justin hands the ball off to me. I'll never forget it. I break through the linebackers, and I'm meeting the safety head on, and I'm like, I don't have moves. I'm not moving. I'm running over you. Yeah. I lower my bad shoulder and hit him, and it instantly pulls my shoulder out of place. And I go back to the sideline. I'm like, Ronnie. And, of course, Pettit's frustrated. And, like, one stinking play, and, he wasn't mad, but it was just, like, frustrated. Like, we've done all this to get your shoulder right, and then you're out after the first play. Ronnie, I can't remember if he pulled out the instructions or something with the brace, and he's like, let's try it another way, and hooks it up the other way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's much better. Shout out Ronnie Butler. That's one of many stories of that man.
Oh, man. I loved Ronnie.
Oh, man. Do you remember the same game, same scrimmage? We scrimmaged in Campbellsville. Tanner getting tackled into the freshly made Gatorade.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know.
Is it Wayne County?
No, it was Campbellsville.
Was it? Yeah.
We were
I
scrimmaging.
think it happened again at Wayne County my senior year.
We did not get Gatorade often, but we got Gatorade at, for games.
Mm-hmm.
And Ronnie had just made the Gatorade. And Campbellsville's scrimmage, we was playing on their baseball field, which at Campbellsville High School, their football field and baseball field is the same field.
Yeah.
So, which messes with you dimensionally.
Yeah.
So Tanner was running and gets tackled into the Gatorade cooler, and red and yellow Gatorade go everywhere. And Ronnie's like, I ain't making another. I'm not making any more. You all ruined it.
I can remember being put on the kickoff team my sophomore year. And I remember one of the first things I was excited about was I get to drink the Gatorade at halftime.
Yep.
Do you remember the rule?
Just players, the ones that played get Gatorade.
Yeah, I got to ride the varsity bus, and I got to drink the Gatorade. I'm like, I've made it.
Yeah. Not everybody got to do that.
First game, I don't know, it was first scrimmage, first game. I remember it's halftime, and I'm coming. I'm reaching for my cup of Gatorade, and Ronnie says, what are you doing? I said, getting my Gatorade. And he says, you didn't play. And I pointed at the mud on my jersey, and he said, you just wiped that on there. Get over there.
That sounds just like him.
It was like, man, we were 4 or 5 games in.
Could you imagine telling kids now, no, you can't have a Gatorade?
Oh, yeah. Your Facebook post humming.
Yeah.
But I remember 4 or 5 games later, he said, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, I did.
I did. You just did. You thought you knew more than me. But you talk about a guy, though, that just took a lot of pride in what he done, man,
mm-hmm.
and how much he was as much part of that program.
Oh yeah,
as anybody.
Oh yeah.
One of the when I would come back and go to a game, he's one of the first guys I'd holler at.
Mm-hmm.
Took care of our equipment. Took care of that field.
When I coached baseball that first year, Ronnie always asked how my dad was doing. He would always come. Of course, him and my dad were around the same age, and he always came and asked me how everything was and if I needed anything.
Yeah.
Just the kind of guy he was.
Yeah, he was a good one, man.
But now he
there'll never be another one.
He could get mad at you too.
Oh, he could. He could, and you would know it.
Oh yeah.
There was no secret that he was mad at you.
Oh, I've got one more football question that was submitted. I think I'm going to hold that off till the last question.
Okay.
It involves a list.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. But what was we talking about before that? You asked, what was the last question you asked? I don't know.
The last question? Yeah. I think the last question I asked was how far would the 06 team have went if we'd gotten past Glasgow. I asked about 2007. I asked about the 08 comeback, college football. What did you think of our class as a whole?
That's what it was. Man, just to drive that point home, I had no doubt that y'all were going to do what you needed to do.
On behalf of everybody, I think that's in my class. I think that's appreciated.
Well,
of course, I never really doubted your input. I just think it's nice for people to hear.
Oh, again, I mean, the people that was there every day that practiced against y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was our scout team versus ones. I mean, it's just, to me, it sounds bad even calling it that.
Yeah. And we also looked at it you guys set the bar. We're not going to be the ones that lower it.
Right. It puts pressure.
You guys started something. Let's keep this thing rolling.
Yeah.
And we had a good run for a while. It was shortly after I graduated, my wife's class. They went on one region, went to semi-state.
Yep.
And that class after me, I think they went to the region championship, finished second in the region.
They did. Danville lost to Danville.
Yeah. I did. I remember a lot more about when we played, but I didn't miss a game. I didn't miss a game after I graduated for several years. I came back and helped my uncle Delmas and my dad film the games for a few years. I think eventually that got replaced by the huddle camera, but for a long time we took road trips and filmed, and some of my best memories are doing that. I love doing that.
Man, it's amazing. When I was a freshman in high school, we were still watching film on VHS. By the time I graduated from Campbellsville, we were getting full film breakdowns in huddle.
Yeah. Well, when we were playing, Coach Pettit still had to like drive and trade film.
Yeah, because part of his closing speech on Friday night was, "I'm meeting so and so at 6 a.m. at the McDonald's in whatever town to swap film." I'm
sure him and Fort Campbell met in Russellville, probably. Yeah. If I had to guess, I'm not sure.
Man, those were some wild games.
What about thoughts on where we had to play Fort Campbell my senior year?
Has that ever happened again? That a Kentucky high school playoff game takes place in Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought that was odd. I also thought it was odd that, their schools in Tennessee, their majority of their population's in Tennessee, but the post office is in Kentucky, so therefore they're a Kentucky school.
I won't call any guys out. I got some guys I went to school with from Fort Campbell. Those buddies with.
And I got to know some of them too. Great dudes. Yeah. Great dudes.
I won't call his name out. We're at a get-together, and we're talking, and I'm like, how was Fort Campbell? And he said, what do you mean, football or high school? And I was like, I mean, just in general. He said, well, after football was over, I went back to my real high school.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That? Yeah.
So
I tell people all the time, like, playing those guys was like playing the Tennessee Titans practice squad.
Both years, we were the only public school in the Final Four, weren't we?
Let's see. 2008, it was us in Fort Campbell. Newport Catholic. I want to say Newport Catholic might have played a public school.
Did they play Highlands?
No, Highlands was 5A.
They're 5A. Yeah. What am I thinking?
Newport Catholic, I want to say, might have played some team out of the East, maybe Middlesboro or it was like
no, Murray.
That's who Fort Campbell played before
they played
before.
Us. Yeah. We almost didn't play Fort Campbell. My senior year, they played Murray before they got to us, and they won on the last second Hail Mary.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that now.
Well, no doubt that would have made the road a little
I think Murray
easier.
ran like a dozer the whole game, like the quarterback and shotgun and the 3-up backs.
Yeah, controlled the tempo.
We'd have probably fared against that a little better.
Yeah. But no respect to those Fort Campbell teams, man. I mean, they were another level. I
played out of position that game. I played defensive end for the Fort Campbell game, and I remember I got back there, and I'm thinking, I'm going to get Antonio Andrews, and just he flipped a switch. Just like never seen anybody move like that.
Yeah.
Just you had to be on the field with him to really know what he could do.
Yeah.
And you had to play Carter.
Josh Carter, best player on the field that night.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the best high school player I'd ever played against. I mean, he was just the size, the speed, and the strength was just unmatched. Mm-hmm. Nobody on our team could block him. 20-something. I think he had 20-something tackles against us, and we could not do anything with.
Not too many people in the state are blocking him, if any.
No, obviously. I mean, he just dominated. He dominated at such a level that I will say that I run into one of their players, actually two of them, but at the Kentucky East-West All-Star game that I played in, I actually run into a couple of their players, and they figured out who I was. Of course, everybody wore your local. You had a jersey that they give you, but you wore your helmet from your high school, which is pretty cool. And they seen, the MC on the side of my helmet, and I seen that FC, Fort Campbell, on the side of theirs. They said, "What's up, Monroe?" And I said, "What's up?" And I was like, I got it. We got to talking or whatever, and I was like, "Give me your honest opinion. What'd you think? What'd you think?" Because it was cold.
Yeah.
And one of the guys was the one. He played corner for him, and he's like, "I thought we were in trouble. Just to be honest with you." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He said, "Y'all come out, shut us out 3 and out. Then y'all run the very first play." You remember what the first play was?
Mm-mm.
We run the midline option.
Yeah.
Justin faked it to Maxie, handed it to Tanner on the second. They all attack Maxie on the fake. Nobody touches him.
Mm-hmm.
the guy that I'm talking to was the guy that had the angle on Tanner.
Yeah.
And couldn't catch him.
Yeah.
He's like, when number 27 broke it and I couldn't catch him, he's like, I knew that we were in for this was going to be a ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And looking back at the score is not as close as the ball game was because they scored with like 30-something seconds left.
Same thing happened my senior year.
Yeah, the game was a lot closer than
we
the score
really
was.
lost by probably 6.
Yeah. But they were good, man. But it was good to hear that they had some respect for us.
It was just it's like playing a small college.
Oh yeah, I mean they had tents on the. They had warming tents on the sideline that their players.
Still telling how many guys they had that did get offers. How many guys that played?
No telling. I mean, they had a Mr. Football, and he played for the Tennessee Titans, and I actually run into Josh Carter. I've not told many people this. I actually run into him at a Western Kentucky and Alabama football game.
Really?
Yes. He remembered us.
Really?
I said, I know you're going to think he had on he'd actually played with one of my buddies at Western for a little bit. And the guy I was with was that guy. He's like, there's Josh Carter, let's go holler at him. I was like, yeah, I'd like to. Funny you brought that up. He transferred from Western to Alabama, and we'd run into him down there on the quad before the game.
Yeah.
So we walk up to him, and he's like, they're boys or whatever. They know each other. They're talking. And I'm like, you don't remember me, but I remember you really well. And he kind of looked at me. I'm like, I played at Monroe County in 2008. He's like, that was a cold game. That was a cold game, wasn't it? I said, yeah, it was. And he said, y'all were tough.
We had a lot of cold games that playoff run. Fort Knox was cold too.
Cold and wet.
Yeah.
Bardstown. Do you remember them second round? Do you remember the refs having to go get them out of the locker room?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They were froze, and we were turning up the thumps, and they were not liking it.
How many yards Justin have against Bardstown?
He had a bunch.
And
that was the thing about the offense that year. Who are you going to stop?
Yeah. Well, Bardstown they for sure didn't expect that.
No.
Like
we run the option.
Yeah.
You've been so focused on stopping Caleb Maxey and Tanner Kendall.
Now look at what we got here.
We're going to stop them too, and then quarterback runs for 120 yards or whatever it was. Yeah. It was that was a special team. Of course, I'm biased.
Yeah.
That was a special team.
For sure. Shift and focus a little bit. Something I learned about you in the past a little bit that I didn't know about you is that you like to read a lot like I do.
I do read a lot.
What are some of the things you like to read? Like what gets your attention when you're looking for reading material?
I've always liked to read. A lot of people didn't know that. I take it in spurts. I loved to read when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked to read, on up to, just to be quite honest, until I got up into the sports, real heavy into football. I left it a little at that time. Picked it back up, I guess, in college, just as a, back to football being a job. It was a release, got back into it. And I read a lot of business books just to, help with work. I read a lot of history-ish books, and then sometimes, I'll pick up a fiction book every now and then and knock it out. One that appeals to me.
Yeah.
I've got several favorites. Anybody listening to this that's never read Lonesome Dove.
Yeah.
It's my favorite book of all time.
The
show is great.
About to give that a read.
Yeah, the show is great, but the book is 10 times better. It's my favorite. Business books, man, there's a lot.
Do you do audiobooks or do you like
I like the paper.
That's my wife reads on a Kindle. I can't do it. I want to smell the book.
I stare at screens enough with my job, and it's like I don't want to go home and look at a screen. Like if I want to read, I want to read the paper and hold the book, and it's just a different experience.
Now this sounds crazy to some people. I like the smell of an old book.
Yeah.
Like
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like just when you can hear the paper.
It crinkles
like crackle
a little bit.
when you open. What's
your favorite book?
Ooh, all time?
Yeah. I know that's a pointed question because I've got. If you was to ask me my favorite book, Lonesome Dove is obviously my favorite, but then it's a dogfight for
The
two.
answer I've given the majority of my life is The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger.
Yeah.
Have you read that one?
Yeah. A lot of people consider that a business book.
Yeah, I've read that one. I had a professor in college, Dr. Mark Dunphy. He passed away, but he was a Moby Dick guy, and he had read Moby Dick after time and time and time. So The Catcher in the Rye was probably my Moby Dick. I read it when I was a sophomore in high school, and I loved it. And I feel like it changed me as a person a little bit, and how I looked at things and how I looked at other people's behavior, and kind of started questioning like motives for other people's behavior and how they act. Holden Caulfield was a very observant individual, and like I feel like I tried to be like that after I read that book. Now there are it's obviously it's on the banned book list, and there are some things in there, but that's probably my favorite book. Stephen King is my favorite author.
Yeah,
as far as fiction,
and I always grew up thinking that he is weird, and I disagree with him on a lot of stuff, but man, he could write.
I don't get into his horror stuff as much. Like people hear Stephen King and think Pet Sematary and Carrie, and those aren't what I like the 11/22/63 and Billy Summers. I like his stuff that's more grounded in realism.
And a lot of people don't realize that that are unattracted to, like, I'm going to go read a Stephen King book, don't realize that the movies, some of their favorite movies are his books.
Yeah, for sure.
The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption,
Secret Window.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That is a good one. Stand By Me was a short story he wrote called The Body.
Yeah.
A lot of the good movies that are some of my favorite movie of all time is, to be honest, my favorite movie of all time is The Shawshank Redemption. And that's the only reason I picked up a Stephen King book, was when I figured out that the story is called Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption. Read it if you've never read it.
I feel like Stephen King writes, his dialogue's believable. It sounds like something you would really hear. He doesn't try to dress things up. I read his book on writing, and he's talking about, of course, that's a portion of that book's like an instructional on writing fiction. He's talking about how some authors get too wrapped up in describing things. Yeah. Like if there's a glass sitting on a table covered in a tablecloth, they'll use all these fancy adjectives. It's a velvet, Yeah. He's like, sometimes it's just a glass sitting on a tablecloth.
It's irrelevant. Yeah.
It's like you're taking away from the reader's ability to imagine what they want to see. Yeah. When you're over describing.
And I'm going to be honest, not to openly brag on you, but your book, which if you've not bought his book, you need to buy his book. It's good.
Thank you.
I could tell that you took some, and I've not read a lot of Stephen King, but I've read enough of it to know what he writes like. Yeah. There is some of that in your book, and I can genuinely say like he took some Stephen King and put it in here, and it's noticeable.
I think that's who I appreciate that. Thank you very much, by the way. That's who I aspire to be. I mean, not as a person, but that's the writing style I'm really drawn to. That's what I'd like to sound like when I write.
And you can tell it's Stephen King-esque.
Thank you. Thank you.
Along with the twist.
So how long ago did you finish it? Last week?
I finished it last week, yeah.
Thoughts?
It was good, especially for a first. I mean, I was reading it, and I was like, first off, I couldn't get over the fact that, like, I'm buddies with an author. I never thought that I would say that. Kudos to you for getting comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm sure that writing a book and putting it out there for open criticism, I'm sure that was hard.
Terrifying.
I'm sure it was.
Terrifying.
But man, I thought for your first time, I thought it was good.
Thank you.
I genuinely thought that, especially like there's some commonalities between the book and here, Tompkinsville, Kentucky.
And that my thing, like, you got to write about what you know.
Yes.
I can't write about living in Philadelphia.
Right.
I don't know what it's like. And if I try to do that, you're going to know I'm lying.
Right.
I'm lying when I write fiction. Everything's made up. But I've got to do it in this way that my thought is I need to do it in a way that you believe me.
Right. And I would anticipate that, at some point if you do it enough, and I don't know what your plans are, but you will get good enough at studying and putting stories together that you probably could write about something in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But you stuck with what you know, and it rang through, because it's like, if you grew up in Tompkinsville and you read your book, it's going to feel a little bit like home.
Yeah.
Just as corny as that sounds, it's going to feel that way a little bit.
Thank you. That was the goal.
But it's not overbearingly.
Yeah.
Like you can still take liberties with what you're reading and make it make it back to what you're saying about the glass sitting on the table.
Yeah.
Like you just say it's a glass sitting on the table, and it can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed it. I did.
Do you have any questions
about the book?
Yeah. Were there anything?
It would probably require you telling some spoilers.
Yeah.
So I might have to hold off until we're off the camera.
I want to ask you this because it was my goal. Like when I wrote it, I had like a goal for how I wanted the reader to feel. Were you left with a moral dilemma?
A little bit.
Yeah. Like,
how would I handle this? Not in a literal sense.
Like who did you question feeling sorry for someone that maybe not sorry for someone? Did you question like feeling a certain way towards someone that you wouldn't think you would feel like if you just knew?
I think I know the person you're talking about in the book, and it's man, it could go either way. I guess the dilemma word is it's do I think I would have done the action that one of the guys done? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I also understand the I don't know. It's hard. It's so hard to. I guess that's a tribute to your book, man. It's so hard to answer that.
I wanted the last page to close and you to be like, "How do I feel about that?"
Well, that's exactly where I was. It's like because it comes out of nowhere a little bit, and it's like I just remember finishing it. And like I can't believe I just read that, and it's like to your point. And I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know how I feel about it, and I wrote it.
So I guess that's a tribute to the book itself. It's worth reading.
Thank you.
If you've not bought it, you need to buy it.
I appreciate that. For those listening to Red Dead Redemption, not Red Dead Redemption. That's the video.
That's the video game. Nice.
Do you know how many people have told me that it sounds like that? And here I am on air.
That's funny.
Dead End Redemption. Available on Amazon, or you can purchase through me for a small discount and a signed copy. I'm going to plug that real quick.
Get the signed copy.
Appreciate it.
Signed copy. But I enjoyed it. Are you going to write another one?
I've started. So like my process, I don't know what a typical like author process looks like. Mine's probably different than most. I've got 3 projects I've started. I don't know that I'll finish any of them. I don't know if I may finish all of them at some point, but my goal is to write for an hour every day. Sometimes it turns into 3 hours. Sometimes it's an hour and I'm done, but I want to write for an hour every day. And I'm waiting to see which one of those 3 projects like
clicks
takes me.
Yeah.
So like one of them is a personal account from the 2009 season. And as bad as it pains me to say it, that's the one I'm having the most trouble with.
Really?
Yeah. That's just a tough thing. I've got some friends that really want me to. Okay, we'll take a break. Yeah. And we're back. I'll cut this out later, or I won't cut it out and I'll just leave it. Like, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Please don't put some of that in there. But you're having the hardest time with the 2009. Is it like a memoir?
Yeah, it's. I'm going to write it in the style of a novel. somewhat loosely based. I want it to be based on factual information. Now, of course, I would have to throw some stuff in because I don't remember like dialogue.
Yeah.
Some of the dialogue and stuff's gonna have to be
Yeah.
fabricated to a degree because that's impossible to remember all that. But I want it to, if I do it, I want it to capture how we felt in that moment and what it meant to us and the community. And it's just a tough one that's tough because you've got multiple people involved, guys that I'm friends with, guys that I haven't talked to in a long time. And I'm like, you worry about how they want to be portrayed.
Yeah.
And maybe how they'll feel about your interpretation of them because that's what they're getting is how I saw them.
I could see where that would be tough. And you've also got a very, very special moment in a bunch of young guys' lives that you're somewhat documenting. And I could see where that would be tough to live up to a little bit.
I've gotten a couple chapters written at least. I've got a lot of it's like stream of consciousness kind of stuff. Like in the opening, it's one of the first things I see. Like I'm introducing myself, like who I am and why I'm telling you this.
Yeah.
And one of the first things I mentioned to the readers, like this isn't a storybook finish. Like if you're looking for an underdog rises to the top, like go to the movie theater.
Yeah.
This is about real kids in a real town and who went through something real together.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of that, do you remember, the real kids in a real town? Do you remember getting the letter from Louis Lastic, like the real Louis Lastic?
Yes.
I tell people that sometimes that the real Louis Lastic from Remember the Titans wrote us a letter in 2008 about he'd heard our story and he'd seen the similarities and respected that young men still overcame stuff and did stuff. Not that we had, what they overcame with Ray, that's not even the same ballpark, but it was, overcoming adversity in general. That was a very, very cool thing.
Did you ever see the Glasgow Daily Times article? It was my senior year where somebody had dove into like the census and done the statistics on like how many kids born here were football players and like the likelihood of us competing with Fort Campbell.
No,
it was like
I'd love to read that.
I'll
if you
find
found
it,
send it to me.
I'll find it. I know you can find it online. I read it not too long ago, and I'm gonna butcher the numbers, so don't pay attention to the number. But it was like something like 1 out of every 4 kids born in Monroe County between like 1989 and 91 played football.
Wow!
Like not 1 out of every 4 boys, 1 out of every 4 kids. And it was like. The guy that wrote it was like, no, that doesn't sound that crazy to you, but now imagine you're in a mall food court, and that's roughly how many people you're dealing with. Like the number of kids we had in our school was about what you would find in a mall food court. Probably not now, but back then.
Yeah, back then when malls were a thing.
Said that's roughly what you're dealing with. Now find me a starting lineup.
Wow.
So like that's what we were. Like you go.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about because we were just a bunch of average dudes that got after it. That sounds corny and silly, but we were. Monroe County football was us. As corny as that sounds. I know I'm spitting off a lot of corny stuff, but it was true. It's true. Yeah. It was true. I don't know. Find that article.
I will. I'll find it tonight and send it to you. I've got it printed off somewhere, but now finding that up there is a different ballgame. There was 2 articles written in the Glasgow Daily Times that we printed off, but I can't remember what the other one was about. I'll have to find both of them and get them to you.
If you'd have told me at 20, 21 years old that I'd have been on a podcast talking about books, I'd have laughed at you.
If you'd told me that I would have wrote a book, I would have laughed.
I want to sneak this in there, though. For people that's listening to this from a business sense, I was talking to a guy the other day at work. I've got a stack of business books in my office, and it's there for, I guess, decoration, but it's also a conversation starter. And a guy was in there visiting the other day. He's like, if you had to pick 3 books out of this for a young person wanting to go into what you're doing, what would you tell them to read? And it was a real, like I thought about that question a lot more than I probably should have, but I'm going to give you my answer today. I would start with The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. He's a very good writer, very easy to read, and it's a very general self-finance book, but it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so everybody needs to read that book.
Yeah.
And I would also put Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Chris Voss was a FBI negotiator. And I would just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to read that book. And then I would probably put Good to Great by Jim Collins, just for your pure business people. It's as good as it gets.
Did somebody turn you on to these books, or?
It's like one of those things that I keep up with. You'll find an author that you like.
Yeah.
Like Morgan Housel, I mentioned The Psychology of Money. He wrote The Art of Spending Money. I just finished it the other day.
Yeah.
Another good finance book. That's personal finance. I've got some like corporate finance books that's pretty niche, that I read that I like a lot. Another good one that I didn't know if I was going to like or not, it's very interesting, is Nobody Cares About Your Career. That's what it's called, and it was written by the lady that was CEO of Barstool Sports.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
yeah.
It's called, and some of it's not really. I don't think is applicable to me, but it's pretty much a get out of your own head. Nobody cares about your career like you do. Take risk, push the boundaries, push yourself. That sort of dialogue. It was coming from her perspective, as a woman CEO of a largely male-dominated sports gambling company essentially. It's pretty interesting.
I read a good one that you might like, but I don't remember the author's name. Yeah, I read this in 2015. It's called The Willpower Instinct. Can't remember the author's name, but I'd heard the book on Joe Rogan's podcast, I think.
Yeah, I get a lot of book recommendations on there, too.
He had a buddy that used it to quit smoking. But he's like, you can use it to motivate yourself to do whatever you're trying to accomplish. I remember, it talked about meditating. Of course, you're meditating and you think, the people sitting. Yeah. But the meditation technique it teaches you in the book is to close your eyes and count to 5. And only think about counting to 5. And when you can get to where you're only thinking about counting to 5, stop and try not to have a thought. And as soon as you have a thought, start counting to 5 again.
That's one thing I've never tried that I feel like I would, because I have my mind jumps, and sometimes my mind goes 1,000 miles an hour, and doing something like that would do me a lot of good. I've just never dedicated the time to it.
I used it for weight loss at the time. I'd gotten up to 240, which was the heaviest I'd ever been. And I read the book, and I don't know if it helped or not, but I got back down to 170. Of course, it's back on now, but it worked at the time.
I get it.
I didn't have kids when I lost all that weight.
It's hard. Everything's harder.
Yeah, I wasn't married. I didn't have kids. I just started my first real job, I guess. I was at Life Skills.
Isn't it funny when you hear somebody that's young, unmarried, with no children talk about how they don't have enough time?
Yeah. They come let me show you. Yeah, let me show you no time. Yeah. There's so many things I want to do. And then I get when I get time.
I was going to say, you've done a lot.
But when I get time to do some of it, I'm like, just tired.
I get it.
There's a lot of times I'm just tired.
I think you're the only person I know that's wrote a book and fought in an MMA fight. I would say that's pretty well rounded.
That's my wife. She teases me about how what is it? She says I'm a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
I get into a lot of stuff.
I do the same thing, man.
But I don't know that I've ever really seen anything all the way through.
Well, I think that, we was talking about, and I'm kind of glad we stopped talking about football for a minute, because I didn't want it to be like a football podcast, because if all I'm known is a football player, then I've failed. If I'm not known as anything other than just being a decent high school football player, then I've failed at life.
Mm-hmm.
But to your point, that's why I'm kind of drawn into. I like to read. I like martial arts. I like business. I like working where I work. You know, it's. I think back to what I was saying about generations. We was talking about how kids was different. I think our generation wants a more fulfilling life.
Mm-hmm.
In a different, we want to do different things, and I think part of that is due to social media. You see what all is out there now, and it's like, man, some friends of mine we went skiing in the Rocky Mountains a couple of years ago, and I would have never thought that I'd have done that, and I don't know, that's a far stretch, but it's like we dive into different things than.
And one positive thing that these kids today have is that I feel like they see a lot more that it's okay to be into different stuff.
Yeah.
I was into a lot of the stuff that I'm
You're
into
a little scared
now.
to let people know.
I didn't I mean, I wasn't about to carry like some Mark Twain on the football bus. I know, like John Moxon did it in Varsity Blues. That's how they treated him.
Yeah, R.I.P. Johnny Mox, right?
Yeah, it's awful.
I know.
But
that was a coming of age movie at the time.
Yeah. Do you remember riding on the back of the trucks to school?
To practice, yeah. Yeah. We actually rode from...
We met up at Lyons Lumber before school one morning.
Yeah.
And I don't remember whose truck I was in. It was a white one.
Probably mine. I had a white truck.
I pulled the Grand Dam into Lyons Lumber and jumped in the bed of a truck, we rode to school.
Do you remember meeting at Dairy Queen for breakfast on Fridays? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were tight. You know, we were a tight team, and I think.
What game was that we did the before school thing? What was that? It was cold. It was
I don't remember.
Freezing, and we were. Somebody wore a jacket, and everybody was like, "Take that off."
Yeah, nobody wore sleeves during cold games either. You were. I mean, so the guys that didn't play.
I took that all the way through my senior year.
Yeah.
I didn't wear sleeves.
The guys that didn't play, I mean, nobody harped on them. I mean, we weren't morons. I didn't think we were anyway. But like, if you played and you had sleeves on, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was so many things that happened, and we're forgetting 100 probably.
Oh, I know. I was thinking about this coming here tonight, and I've never seen myself doing one of these.
Yeah.
I'm not a real big talker in a group setting, I don't think. So the fact that it's just me and you in a basement and there's a camera right here that's supposedly looking at me and I'm trying to ignore it.
I forgot it's there for the most part.
Yeah.
I got to check the levels every now and then.
But I like the long form conversation.
I love it. And I think things are going to that.
Yeah.
We saw with the last presidential debate and all that's that won him the election.
100%.
Exposing themselves on a
making yourself human.
Because you can fake things in 15-minute snippets.
Oh,
but when you get into minute 45 of kind of the real use,
or 2 hours or whatever we're at now, like people,
the real bleeds out. You can't hide it.
And I think people want real. You know, people want to hear opinions they don't agree with.
Yeah,
they may disagree with them, but it's like, okay, that's a real thought. You know, that's a real. In a society that strives for real, it's a good thing. Speaking of that, I mean, there was some real stuff happened this morning when I turned on the news, just to, I guess, document the day where we bombed Iran again this morning. I don't want to dive into politics, but
I don't know how to. That one's I don't know how I feel about it.
I'm torn too.
And
I'm not a real. I don't keep up with it like I should. Just because I just get exhausted with it. But I don't know. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't. It
scares me for my kids.
Yeah, for sure. It scares me in general thinking about. I don't know. I feel like of course, we went through what we went through in 2001 with 9/11. I mean, that was
Karen Copus's history class. I'll never forget
Sheila Bryant's social studies.
I remember Karen Copus. She come in. Great teacher, very, very sweet woman, even if she did raise Cody Copus. Shout out Cody. But I'll never forget the look on her face when she come in and turned on the TV, and she started crying, and it horrified us. And I just remember looking at her and looking at the TV and not really understanding. And she could tell. I remember her looking at us as a class, and she could tell that we didn't understand. And her being like, I know you guys don't understand, but she said, this is going to be in your children's history book someday. And I just remember seeing it and seeing the smoke.
Like, nobody really knew what was happening.
No.
I didn't.
We didn't. Nobody at that time, I don't think, knew that it was a terrorist attack.
I didn't. I can remember not understanding, like, how big of a deal it was. And me and Ben talked about it. I don't know if me and Ben talked about it or if I remember Ben talking about it on his podcast. He and I were in the same 4th grade class. I don't remember it. I don't remember learning that it happened until I got home.
Yeah.
I don't know if like our teacher didn't tell us what was going on, or I remember the day was different. Like the Wolf Brothers had played a patriotic concert that morning.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
I remember that.
And I remember Ricky Gerls coming over the PA.
Ricky Gerls sung on the announcing system.
Like I remember everything was different at school, but I did. And my grandma picked me up from parent pickup, and she was like shook.
Yeah, I remember my mom getting me that day, and she just had this different look on her face. And I think I remember her. I don't know if I asked her, and she probably doesn't even remember this, but asking her if she was okay, and it's like. I remember her being like, I don't know that I've ever wanted to pick you up so fast in my life.
Yeah.
Not that somebody was going to do a terrorist attack in Tompkinsville, Kentucky, but it's everybody just wanted to hug your loved ones because there was a bunch of people that was not going to get to do that night. Do you remember how patriotic everybody was after that?
The day after 9/11.
The day after 9/11 was.
We may never see that America again.
And that's. I hope.
I would like to.
I would like to too.
Love to get back to that.
I mean, I don't know that I've seen that many American flags before. And people that's not old enough to remember that, do your research on how unified the country was, because it was not like it is today.
No. I don't know. It's everybody realized, like, at the end of the day, we're all just in this together, trying to get through it.
Yeah. And I don't know if I've ever told many people this, but I actually went to Ground Zero like not very long after that. And not to get too graphic on the podcast, but it still stunk. It still smelled like jet fuel.
Yeah.
And burning flesh.
Gosh.
And I'll never forget that as long as I live.
I've never been to New York.
I went. It was over a year after it happened, maybe 18 months or so.
Yeah.
But they were still cleaning it up. It was still a massive hole in the ground. And I can see it to this day, man. I can see them trying to just get rubble and twisted steel and stuff out of the ground. And that's one of those things that I don't know that I'll ever forget. Me and my mother went for a trip. There was a big group that went, and I can still see that cross, that beam of that cross. I can still see it plain as day, still standing up.
Yeah.
Talk about making your hair stand up.
Yeah.
It was glad I went.
I've always wanted to go to New York.
You need to.
Whatever. I want to go there. I want to go to Washington, D.C.
I've
been way out west.
You never been to D.C.?
Mm-mm.
I would go there before I went to New York.
We drove out west and stayed with my wife's grandmother. She lived in Reno at the time. We drove out there and stayed 2 or 3 weeks. I loved it out that way. But I've never been to New York or Washington. I really want to go there.
You need to.
I want to see the Holocaust Museum.
You brought that up. That was the second most memorable thing. I've not been to very many big cities. I've been to Vegas. I've been to New York. I've been to Chicago. Well, I guess I have been to several. But the Holocaust Museum, and I went there in middle school.
Yeah.
And anybody that's been there is going to know what I'm about to say. The rings and the shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's it's unthinkable. One of the quietest places that you'll ever go. I remember there's a small exhibit in it. It's like they call it like Tori's house or Tony's house or Joey's house. It's named after a child, and it's like through the child's eyes, the Holocaust, Nazi Germany. It's like the kid is obviously Jewish, and he's talking about how his day-to-day has changed. It's like, I woke up today and, father run a grocery store, and now there was some guys with double S's on their hat that come and said daddy couldn't run his store no more. And it walks through poverty. It's heavy. It's a heavy place.
See, I want to go side. I've taught a lot of my teaching career. I've taught the Holocaust unit in my class. That's one of my favorite things to teach. Yeah, kids are desensitized to that stuff now, though. It's really, really difficult to drive that point across, like how
exactly what happened.
Yeah. And I want to see that.
It's a very heavy subject that's probably hard to teach today.
Yeah. There's a lot of things. Education's different. Athletics are different. The world's different.
Yeah. You ever seen The Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
Yep. My wife taught that for 2 years when she was at the middle school.
One of the saddest movies, if not the saddest. Schindler's List. You ever watch it?
My wife gets really into the Holocaust movie. Like she
needs to watch Schindler's List.
I think she's seen it and tried to get me to watch it. I've not. It's black and white, right? Man. It's black and white.
There's one scene that's got some color in it, and it's purposeful color. That's those of you that's watched it know the color I'm talking about. So
she got me to watch one. I think it's about a boxer. A guy was boxing in the concentration camps, and like soldiers were betting on him.
Really?
And he was like, that was his way of like getting a little bit of more preferential treatment. He wasn't treated well.
Yeah. But
he wasn't tortured as much as his peers because he was boxing and winning money for these soldiers. And like it was based on a true story. Then he comes back later and talks about how awful he felt because he was doing that to his
brothers.
He's boxing at other Jewish people in the concentration camp.
That's wild. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I'll have to find the name of that. It's a tough watch. But I mean, like, I like to watch things that are tough. Like I want to feel something when I watch a movie. I love movies. I love books and I love movies.
I think anybody does. I'll tell. It's probably blown people's minds that some of my friends that don't know that I like to read or that I read a lot.
Yeah.
And I tell people that if you don't, some people, I just don't like to read. No, you just not found what you like.
Yeah.
Because I think reading is such a primitive thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of the first meaningful things you learn to do. You learn to talk and you learn to read.
Mm-hmm.
You learn to read, write, and talk.
Yep.
It's a form of communication. It's one of the oldest forms of communication is reading. And those that say that they don't like to read, you've just not found what you like.
I tell 8th graders that every day.
and it's not cool. Yeah. It's not cool to read.
No,
I
think it is.
But I'll say this: the smartest, greatest men in history read.
Mm-hmm.
They read. The Teddy Roosevelts of the world, all presidents read a lot. Most of them.
I can remember. There's a kid I had in class, and I remember, like, I've known the kid since he was little, and he loved to read. And I would see him all the time. Yeah. Like, what book are you reading now? And he'd talk to me about what book he was reading. And I remember he got to middle school, and I saw he's around like some of his football player buddies.
Yeah.
And
bad stereotyping football
reading
players.
Got brought up, and I remember that kid that I watched grow up loving to read. I remember he made it like something got brought up, and he said, "I don't even like to read. That's stupid." Something like, probably some more words were used.
Yeah,
but I remember like that crushed me.
I know.
So I'm like, I knew how he felt. I remember like being that age and not wanting my buddies to know I was into comic books and you know.
Yeah. And it took, and I'm going to bring a guy's name up that we've probably not brought up enough that had a big impact on us as a football team, but Caleb Maxey. I remember being in middle school on the bus, and Caleb Maxey, one of the best athletes on the team, one of the best players to ever wear a Monroe County jersey, brought a book and was reading it. Nobody said a word to him because he was. I'll never forget that. It's like it was just something you didn't see.
Yeah,
and he was smart, intelligent, athletic. I just remember seeing that and like that's a dude right there.
Yeah.
Like
he
don't care if anybody says a word to him. He ain't
him.
got nothing to prove to nobody. Like, and I hope that if there's a young kid listening to this, like I read, man. Not that I'm cool or whatever, but you like what you like.
I like it. I love it. I wouldn't be a teacher if it wasn't for comic books.
Really?
I mean, that's a very broad statement, but like that's what got me into reading. I can remember. You remember Piggly Wiggly? When we were kids,
the store? Yeah,
Piggly
Ronald
Wiggly.
Bailey's Piggly Wiggly.
They had a rack there. It was full of magazines and stuff, but there was always a little comic book section, and that was like my dad would give me an allowance, $2 or $3 a week, and that's what I would buy with my allowance every week.
Comic books.
Some
of these hanging up in here. I'm sure.
Some of those I've bought as an adult, but I just remember being captivated by comic books, and then that turned into Goosebumps, and that turned into.
I read Goosebumps.
Yeah,
everybody read Goosebumps.
Yeah,
I remember reading To Kill a Mockingbird in high school, and thoroughly enjoying that.
Who was the teacher?
Miss McFall.
I had Candy Curtis.
Miss McFall. I remember reading that book in her class, and it scratching that itch a little bit, like I used to enjoy this,
Yeah.
And it's still one of my favorite books ever is To Kill a Mockingbird. I read different things now than I used to. I'm a big Cormac McCarthy guy. Some of his stuff can be a little heavy, but it's all very good stuff.
Did you take Dotson's class in high school?
I did, man.
I took him twice.
I can't remember. What did we read in that class?
The Kite Runner. Do you remember the Kite Runner?
I don't know that we read that.
I read Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit
451.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that in his class, part of the literature circle. I don't know, and Mr. Dotson, I know he listens to Ben's podcast, so I'm sure he'll listen to this at some point. He might not have had the same reading list every year.
I don't know that he did. He was known to change things.
Yeah.
First off, if he is listening, one of the best teachers I ever had.
He is the best teacher I ever had.
He made.
I had some great teachers too.
Oh, I did too. He's one of the, and since he just come up, we'll focus in on him, I guess. But man, I just remember him making every kid like, and this is going to sound corny, but every kid felt like man, you were in Dotson's class.
Yeah.
He made every kid feel special.
Well, he made being smart cool.
Yeah, yeah, because he was highly intelligent, and everybody liked him.
Do you remember him wearing black on the what were the tests he gave? The mastery exam day?
Yeah.
He would wear all black.
Yeah, like at a funeral. Yeah. This is stuff like that he done that made class fun.
Yeah.
And there's some words that I'll use in language today or dialogue today that I learned in his class.
Yes.
Great.
I could name like 5.
Great teacher.
Facade.
Yeah, facade.
I didn't know.
A bore means to hate.
A Donnybrook.
Yeah.
Oi polloi.
And I just he would give out projects that, like I did one, and
the
when I run into
multi-genre project. You remember the multi-genre project?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did
still
mine
have mine. It's over there.
I did mine over the JFK assassination.
Columbine shooting.
Really?
Yeah.
And I just remember getting so immersed in that. Like I really thought, I'm about to figure out who really did this.
Yeah.
And the way he taught, and he would get you motivated to do stuff.
The Virginia Tech shooting happened that year.
It did.
It happened that I think Mason Prophet did his over the Virginia Tech shooting. I remember him using that as an example.
Yeah. Did we? Was it that we had to pick a historical event?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he opened it to anything. I had a guy in class I remember did his over Axl Rose.
Really?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, just listen to the things we're talking about.
Yeah, and there
like
was
kids getting hyped up.
There was a kid that did it over Hakuna Matata. Like it was, the whole thing was on like
means no worries.
Yeah, the phrase from The Lion King. It was just open. You had like a criteria for the genres you had to have in your portfolio, and
I mean, and looking back, like that probably at the time did not sound like man, I can't believe we're going to have to write all this and do all this research. But at the time, it's like you got to my point. If you say you don't like to read, no, you've just not found something that you like. Because we all got to pick something that we were interested in.
How proud of you were that when you finished with it?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I still have mine.
like I put together a timeline.
I still got my
of
binder.
That day, of the day that JFK got
I texted Mr. Dotson the other day. I dug my binder out when I was cleaning the basement up, and I give him a hard time because he gave me a 96 on my binder grade. I'm like, I bet that would be 100 now.
Yeah. He's still Dotson. Is he in the central office? What's he doing?
He is the DPP at Cumberland County, but he still teaches class.
Still teaches.
Yes, still teaches. He never stopped teaching, I think.
Yes, because I remember I seen him at a career fair, and every time I see the man, I always make it a point. If I see him, I'm going to go speak because he had a big impact on me. Oh yeah.
He was excited that you were coming on the podcast.
Was he?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. You got me nervous now. Just how many people was going to actually watch this. But I do remember him saying that he didn't want to ever give up the classroom, and I think that speaks volumes to what his intent is with his profession. You know,
he taught. Do you remember his journalism class?
I remember the class.
Yeah,
I don't think I was in it.
They had like the funny videos. And I took journalism my sophomore year, and then Mr. Dotson wasn't. He didn't teach it anymore, so I stopped taking it. But that like really got me into writing. That was when.
Well, it makes sense.
I like to read. I knew I liked to read when I was little. I still hated writing. I didn't like writing. Like, you can ask Joni Turner, the middle school portfolio. I about drove her crazy.
Another grade A teacher.
Oh yeah, I still work with Joni. She was the first person to read my book. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Gave me some feedback.
She's a great person.
She is. But I hated writing. I hated it, and then I took journalism.
Still don't like it.
And
I'm terrible at it.
Mr. Dotson turned it into something that, I mean, obviously I do it when I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
But it's just like those special moments, that stick out. Like all these little things that turn you into who you are.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
To look back, being the age
if
we
I'd
are
zigged
now.
when I'd zagged, what would I be doing?
And I look at my kids now, and I look and like, I just wonder what those moments are going to be for them. Not to get sentimental or corny, but I have those moments in my life. Most of them revolve around my farm, or hunting, or playing football, or my buddies growing up, my parents. Like, you just look at your kids. And
how old's yours?
3 and 1.
Wait till you're coaching Little League in a few years.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's awesome. Asher, my 6-year-old, I'm guilty of not fooling with him enough at home. Like, I mean, we play and stuff, but a lot of times I'm tired or whatever. We go to basketball practice, and admittedly, I was worried about how this was his first year playing basketball.
Uh-huh.
I was worried, he didn't play last year.
Is he going to take to it? Is he going to?
How's he going to look compared to the kids that played last year too?
Yeah,
he's dribbling the ball like one of the better dribblers on his team. And I asked, how'd you learn to do that? Because I'd never showed him how to dribble a ball, and he said YouTube. Like, what?
Ain't that crazy how times are changing?
He said I looked it up on YouTube, and I said, how do you he can't read. So how'd you look it up? And he said, the little microphone button, Dad. You hit it and you tell it what to look up. So he's over here YouTubing how to dribble a basketball.
How smart are these kids going to be when they get our age?
Yeah,
it's crazy,
it's nuts. And AI. What are your thoughts on AI?
It's a hot topic right now.
I love it
with everybody.
I'm probably in the minority.
I like it for what it can do.
It's scary.
I don't like it for what it can do. Yeah. For what it can do. to hear people like Elon Musk and some of the CEOs of like Palantir, to hear some of these things that they say that it is already doing on its own, like it's different versions of AI are talking to itself, or they're talking amongst each other, and now they're forming their own language and talking to each other in a way that human beings can't understand. I mean, it's mind-blowing, and to be quite frank, it's scary that, I mean, are humans going to be obsolete?
I think we got to embrace it, though.
I think
that's the only choice we have.
We do too, but I think we have to manage it.
Yeah.
Not to have a manager managing a manager, but I think if you're irresponsible with it, which I would say that we have been with social media to a point.
Yeah.
I think we've seen the negativity that social media can do.
Yeah.
I think AI could be be that bad or exponentially worse.
I don't, and I may be dead wrong. I feel like we're far from a sentient AI.
Man, I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna anytime soon. I don't think it's gonna replace writers.
No, it'll never replace the arts.
I use it when I write. I'm like, whereas 10 years ago I'm writing a book, which I'll say when I started writing Dead End Redemption, I didn't use AI. I didn't know it might have been around. I wasn't familiar with it, so I was doing that off the cuff.
Yeah.
I revisited it 3 years later, and it saved me a lot of money on editors. I don't have to pay an editor anymore. I can copy and paste my chapters in one at a time, like find the grammatical mistakes. It'll find plot holes for you. Like,
that's
so
crazy.
I copy, like, for example, I throw chapter 17 in there, and it's like, well, you mentioned Jonathan Downing's dad as a teacher in this chapter, but in chapter 2, you referred to him as a banker. Like, I wouldn't have remembered that.
Yeah.
And somebody would have caught it.
Yeah.
An editor would have caught it.
That you would have had to pay time.
An editor that I couldn't have afforded at the time.
Or that it took 2 hours for him to find, and it finds it in 2 minutes.
And now with this other, like, I mentioned I had 3 projects. The one I'm leaning the most toward is another thriller novel. It's called the Basement Tapes. I'll tell you a little bit about it when we're off camera.
Sounds good.
It involves me needing, like we talked about earlier, needing to know how, like, protocol for jobs that I'm not familiar with. You get on ChatGPT and look that up. So it's handy.
Yeah.
Like, things that I wouldn't know how they functioned 10 years ago, I can ask. I'm leaning a little more toward Perplexity now.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Claude.
I've not used that one.
Oh, man, it's awesome for, like, in the business.
Do you pay
world.
For it, or do you?
I do personally.
I have a paid ChatGPT subscription.
Well, right now I have a paid ChatGPT and a paid Claude.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm leaning to get rid of the ChatGPT subscription and just go
too.
straight Claude. Claude is good. I mean, it can code.
Really?
Yeah.
Check out Perplexity too.
I will.
I think you'd like. Rogan turned me on to that.
Perplexity.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a big Rogan fan too.
Oh man, I told you we drove out to Reno, and we're probably diving on 2.5 hours, aren't we?
Ain't no telling.
We'll get it wrapped up here in a minute. Everybody that's falling asleep on us. Rogan keeps his phone like propped up on like a stand on his podcast now, and he doesn't even type into Perplexity. He talks to it, and it talks back to him like a person.
That's
so it's
crazy.
like he's got like a little buddy sitting there that knows everything.
That's crazy.
And like when I go
and
down,
you know, kids are using it as like emotional support too.
Mm-hmm.
That's dangerous.
Man,
I think it's great for the kids that that don't have.
I'll tell you what, it's better. You may be one of these people. I'm one of these people. When something's wrong with me, I would Google my symptoms. And now all of a sudden I got stage 4 cancer. Or like, you know, people.
I do know
people.
Know people like
I'm
not one of those people.
I was one of those people. I would Google what was wrong with me. I'm like, I'm dying. McKayla, I drove her crazy for a long time. ChatGPT
I have rheumatoid arthritis.
I will say AI is a lot better. Like when the kids are sick or I've got something wrong with me, I don't Google anymore. I get on ChatGPT. And what I've noticed is the first thing it says is like, don't freak out. Yeah. This is normal. Most people have this.
Yeah.
So like that's a plus.
Yeah. And it's it's nice too. Like when I ask it like a business type question, it'll cite sources.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's like, well, I don't know about that, I'm gonna go check the source. You go straight to the source. It's good for a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm conservative in nature, and I'm reluctant to I'm reluctant to be excited about something that I don't know where does it end.
Well, I feel like it's going to benefit like our generation because our generation, you think about it, we've grown up like through everything.
We've seen a lot.
I had a regular Nintendo. I had no phone, but then all of a sudden everybody has a phone. We've seen so many technological shifts in society.
We sure did.
So I feel
you remember what internet sounded like when it first cranked up?
The dial-up kids they think we're crazy if they're listening to that.
Or somebody you'd be doing something.
Oh,
if
you called my house while I'm on the internet, it was a busy signal.
Yeah,
because I didn't have 2 phone lines.
Yeah.
Or if somebody picked up the phone, it'd kick you off the internet.
Yep.
And it took like 15 minutes to load a picture.
Yeah. Do you remember texting after 9?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it's
Do you
free.
remember like you had an allotted amount of minutes on your phone you could call during the day, like 150 minutes a month, but unlimited night time and weekends. Text messages were 10 cents a text message.
Yep.
I remember my dad almost killed me. I ran up the phone bill one month texting because I didn't.
Yeah.
I knew I was costing him money, but I'm like, he's not going to notice.
He's not going to notice.
But I texted a lot more than I thought. It added up quicker than I thought it did. He wasn't happy.
I'd say not.
Do you remember getting a picture, like when picture messaging became a thing?
I do.
And you had to go to the Bluegrass Cellular website to see the picture? To
see the picture. I did that in college. Yeah. I would get a picture. Somebody would send me a picture, and it would be something stupid, but I remember having to go to a computer to download the picture to see it.
When did you get your first smartphone?
College. Junior in college.
I was a senior in college. I bet we were the same year we got one. I was really stubborn. I held out longer than some of my friends.
Yeah, all my friends had the iPhone, and I just didn't. I was kind of, I guess, a lot different than a lot of my friends. They were playing Call of Duty. I never got into video games, really. I tried to, but it just never interests me. I'd rather be fishing or hunting or something of that nature.
I still play video games.
Do you?
But I don't play like I did when I was in high school, but I mean, we play, NBA 2K.
Yeah.
It's crazy what you can do on there now. Like you create your guy, and it's like you're just that guy. Now me and 4 of my buddies go play pickup ball on 2K. Like my buddies that live 2-3 hours outside.
That's wild.
On the weekend we'll play.
I can remember Trey Baston had an Xbox, and they would have those Halo nights or whatever.
I used to remember his gamer tag. It had something to do
Bubbles
with
09.
Yeah.
I don't even game, and I knew that. He's a world famous gamer.
Yeah, it was like Barrett Pruitt and Jordan and that bunch would play Halo on they'd hook their TVs together. It's called Lanning or something. I didn't get into that.
I just never did get into video.
They would all go to like Barrett's house on the weekends, and they'd hook all their TVs and games to get system link.
And I just remember hearing them talk about doing that, and I was like, man, that's wild that they're able to do that.
Yeah. But now kids are playing with other kids in like Asia.
Yeah.
And there's no lag. Like they're talking.
That's crazy. But no, I didn't get my first smartphone until I was a junior in high school. I was still walking around with a flip phone, I think, at some point. And
I've still got all my old phones. Like, that's one thing my dad taught. Like, I don't trade my phones in ever.
Yeah.
I have all my old phones, all of them from high school, because he was like afraid that they were going to steal something off of them.
Wow. You have some pretty neat antiques sometimes.
Yeah, I've got a buy.
My grandma and grandpa still have a bag phone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I remember I worked with Brad Crow. He'd tell me about his bag phone when he was at Campbellsville.
That's wild.
See, he played and coached at Campbellsville. I hear a lot of Campbellsville University football stories from him. Coach Finley.
He played for, I was about to say, he played for Coach Finley.
Yeah.
Coach Finley's world famous.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I know.
I feel like I know him. From
I feel
stories.
like I know him too. He's world famous.
one of the novels I was working on that I've like one of the characters, and it's based off Coach Finley and
Ron
the stories
Finley.
I've heard about him.
He would never start practice at 5:30. It was always like 5:31.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Now nobody be late. I'll give you a minute if you're late."
I always heard a story about like the athletic director came to his practice and he kicked him out of the practice.
That sounds exactly like him. And even when I was there under Coach Perry Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And, Finley's lore was still, like every time we scored, we had that big train horn in the corner of the end zone. Anytime somebody scored, Ron Finley was the one. He would stand up on his walker or whatever. And
I will say, I remember I had like a little, I wasn't recruited much, but I had a little handful of letters from high school, like colleges. And I remember Campbellsville was handwritten.
Yeah.
Was yours?
Yes, it sure was.
That always stuck out to me.
Yep.
If Jordan Turner hadn't signed to play at Lindsay, I would not have ended up at Lindsay. It was our best friends since we were like kids.
Foot Turner. He's one of those guys that, talking about the 2010 class, like we practiced against Jordan Turner all week long.
Oh yeah.
Like I felt like we were in good enough shape on Friday night.
He would have started 3 years.
Yeah.
Anywhere else in the district.
Yeah. He was, as a center, he was immovable.
And he was an offensive player our senior year, not known for defense. There's a game your senior year that he went in the game on defense and impacted the game.
Not shocking at all.
I can't remember which game it was, but he.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was, of course, Jared Rich was our nose tackle. Jared Rich and Jordan Turner going at it every week.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not happening at a lot of different schools around here. It's sad to see him wear the Greene County stuff, though.
Yeah. We got him to come out of it for a reunion.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard he dropped some pretty good wisdom.
Yeah, he still bleeds blue.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what he says.
I'd be all in, too, if I was him. I don't blame him.
Oh, no, I don't blame him at all. He's doing great. I'm super proud of
Doesn't
Jordan.
mean I'm not going to bore him about it.
No. I'm going to give him a hard time about it.
But he was one of those good at that time. It sounds bad to call him a scout team guy, but, I was a scout team guy at some point. But, that's who we practiced against.
We had to wait our turn. We had a bunch of guys that I don't know if I fall into that category, but you take like 6 or 7 of us that probably didn't start or play significantly until our senior year.
You probably have 7 or 8 guys on that team that start for any other team.
Yeah. 2 or 3 years.
Yes. It was just heavy at the time.
Yeah. That's a good problem to have.
It was very, very competitive.
It's a good problem to have.
I remember a couple of days where we went half line, best on best. Yeah. And I remember one of the days Coach Pettit actually called the drill short. Stopped it before we was supposed to stop.
See, now I know some of the younger guys that I've got friends that are not in high school now, but from some of those later teams that'll tell Coach Pettit stories now, and they'll say guys that's coached under him, and they'll say that he tells the story back when we played, he couldn't do best on best. He's gonna get somebody hurt.
Yeah.
So he had to. It's we had to chill practice out back then.
I remember that. I don't think that's an embellishment. I remember half line inside drill where it was run only. Yeah. Best on best, run only, and I just remember running 3 or 4 plays and him being like, all right, that's good enough.
Yeah. And how many legendary pregame speeches does he have?
He's got a bunch, man. Do you remember his brother David's pregame speech before we played Greene County about the snipers?
Yes.
That's up
Chills.
there. That's up there.
Chill.
Yeah.
Maybe best.
Okay, so y'all heard us talk about the fog.
Yeah.
We get the pregame speech about snipers, and then we go down to what looks like a literal battlefield.
Yeah.
And,
one of my favorite ones was my senior year, though. We were playing Adair County, and there was maybe some sporting, local sports magazines at the time that would put stuff out leading up to a game. Everything was about Adair County's hottest start and forever, and they're 3-0.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying anything about us. We're 3-0 too.
Yeah, of course.
And I won't use all the words before the game. I don't care if they've got a pink elephant in their locker room.
Yeah, that sounds exactly right. The best one though that he probably gives at least once a year, and I think I remember the first time he ever done it was the untie your shoe.
Yeah.
Untie your shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Now tie it up just a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
And I'll leave the rest to the.
I remember that one.
He was good at it, man. He could motivate.
Oh yeah, make you want to run through a wall.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good times, and I know we've talked about football a lot, but that's what you talk about. What you know, I guess.
We've been going for a while, so we'll start wrapping this up.
Sounds
so
good.
I'll end on
the question.
The question.
And shout out again to Ben Carter for
this.
You would be amazed at the amount of people since Ben started that podcast and that question
we
was
wouldn't be
asked.
sitting here if it wasn't for Ben. I love podcasts. I never thought I would do one. I went on Ben's and it was the highlight of my week.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just in a good mood the rest of the week, so that's why we're here.
Well,
that's all. Shout out Average Joseph podcast. If you're listening, check out that. He's got some good stuff going. We're real proud of Ben.
I am too. When I seen Ben doing a podcast at first, I was like, oh, man, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. Not against Ben, but just because, I listen to professional.
Yeah.
I call them professional. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Professional podcasters all the time. Like, man, that would be hard.
Yeah.
And then I see him doing it, and I'm like, man, he's doing good.
Yeah.
Like I've listened to most of them. I've not listened to all of them, but
I catch myself like, I'm checking out what Ben's got out before I'm looking at Rogan. Now
Yeah.
I'm like, and Ben's got a popular episode getting ready to come out.
Yeah, he does. That's one of the people we
I don't know if
discussed.
he's announced it yet. So.
I don't know that he's announced it yet either, but I think
stay tuned.
It's been. It'll probably be out. I think it's supposed to come out. It'll probably be out before this one is.
I think it's coming out tomorrow.
It it is.
I think it is.
Involving a guy that we've been mentioned several times tonight.
Oh yeah,
it'll be a good one.
I'm so excited about that.
And I think I've told Ben, and I'll tell you, just stay genuine. And I'm not dodging your question, but just while we're on this, just stay genuine, and everything else take care of itself. People like genuine conversations and genuine thoughts. So, back to the question.
So this was proposed, and I'm gonna answer it too. I will preface before I answer it. I am only going to answer with teams that I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to comment on any teams that I never watched or played on or was a part of.
Come on, man.
I don't know anything. The 89, they're up there. They've got to be in the list, but I can't put them somewhere. You know what?
Yeah.
The question is the top 5 Monroe County football teams all time.
All time. The amount of people that has called me about this since all these podcasts have come out in the list, which I'm here for it, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It gets people excited. It gets people talking about it. It's a good, whether I'm on the team or not, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. First off, I just want to say that when you just limit it to Monroe County teams, you cross off a lot of good Tompkinsville Bears football teams.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to say that. I don't think I've heard anybody make that point yet.
My Uncle Mike was on a team that was in the semi-state and almost...
We had a Tompkinsville high school team that had 2 professional football players on one team.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody said that yet. I mean,
we had some guys from Gamel that were on the all-state team too. Like Merle Collins was an all-state
I did
football
not know
player at Gamel.
I did not know that. What position, do you know?
I had no idea. I saw I shoot pool at his house.
Yeah.
I saw his plaque on his wall. It's all-state. Like,
Merle Collins.
Representing.
Yeah. See, I mean, guys like that, I mean, they're completely left out of this conversation. The Elois Grooms, the Johnny Bush Hongs, all those guys throughout. I mean, the 1982 was a regional championship team that my dad was on.
I think
loaded with players.
Grooms has to be the unequivocal best player in
my opinion. Yeah, I mean, he was a Pro Bowl NFL football player,
strongest man in the NFL.
Strongest man in the NFL. I have his card.
Yeah.
I don't even collect football cards, but I'm not getting rid of that one. The one that says Tompkinsville, Kentucky on it.
That's a tough one to argue.
So,
I don't know.
That being said,
and he's timeless. He starts on any team. That's like he's the best player on any team that we have.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out Elois Grooms. A lot of people don't know this, but I remember when I was helping Billy Joe coach those 3 years, which I don't know if I said it or not. Had a blast. Coached a lot of good guys, a lot of tough guys too. Good, all-time good players on those teams. I remember he reached out to Elois and asked for, and I think I'm telling this right, so if I'm not, then by all means wear me out about it. He reached out to Elois and was like, invited him in. You know, if you want to come in and watch a game, we'll pay for it. We'll, you know, as coaches, we'll chip in, we'll get you here, and we'd like to have something of your memorabilia to hang in our coach's office, you know. Didn't have anything from him. He's like, yeah, I'll send you something. Well, his something was a massive picture wasn't the word. I mean, it was like 5 feet by 3 feet or something of him sacking Joe Montana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
where's that now?
it's in the coaches. It was in the coach's locker room upstairs.
Oh, I got to see that.
Yeah. It's worth bypassing the
Yeah.
gatekeeper and going in there like I gotta see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Signed Elois Grooms.
That's awesome.
So that was I'll send you something. That was what he said.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So just keep in mind with this list. I mean, you're knocking out a bunch of good.
Yeah.
And we could talk about those teams for a long time, but now that everybody's wanting my list, I'm not going to exclude teams that I didn't see, so I'm going to include teams that I'm just going off lore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going off teams that I probably didn't keep up with as good as I should have, that I could have. In no particular order, I think you've got to do the regional championship teams.
Yep.
89. I'm going to name them, and then I guess I'll list them. I'm going to go 1989 was the first. I don't know of any other Monroe County team that won a regional title other than them.
Undefeated regular season.
The only undefeated regular season. So that's worth noting. 2008, we've talked about them quite a bit. 2009, we've talked about them quite a bit. 2012, Chad Wilson, Brooks Murphy, my brother Trevor's team.
Tough team.
Jacob Hodges. I mean, I hate to start naming players. They had a loaded offensive line. Probably, well, I'll talk about each team, I guess. Then that 5 spot's tough. It's tough. You've got a couple of other regional finals teams that appeared in them. 10, Tanner and Jackson senior year, good team. Run into some tough competition, but they were a good team.
What year? Coach Myers had a team that was ranked 4th in the state at one point.
That he did.
What year was that?
I want to say that was the Daniel Harlan, Dylan Bartley, Justin
04?
Graves, 04, 05, or maybe that might have been the year before their senior year.
Might have been 03.
03, back whenever that was Zach Grace's.
That was the Trousdale County win.
Those 2 years blend together for me in my head. I was at that Trousdale County game.
I was too. It was one of the first away games I ever went to.
It was wild.
Yeah, it was talked about for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, they hadn't lost on that field in like a decade.
Yeah.
We go down there and beat them. I say I wasn't on the team, but I feel like it,
I bet Daniel doesn't remember a lot of that game.
Very first play, he got rocked. I'll never forget. He gets his helmet knocked about 10 feet in the air, and then it claps lightning. Yeah. And then they have to go in the locker room. And I'll never forget it. My dad would be like, that'd be tough to go sit in the locker room and think about. Yeah. Starting quarterback. But Daniel's tough, and they had a lot of tough players on that team, and they come out and they win like 9-7 or something.
Yeah, it was
low scoring defensive,
low scoring
slobber
game.
Knocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, very tough football game.
He was like a running back playing quarterback.
I guess that was 02. No, that was I
can't remember the year. I
want to say 02 was the year that they were like top 4 in the state.
Mm-hmm.
Then 03 was that had pretty much the same mix. Not pretty much the same, but had a lot of the same guys.
Yeah.
They were both good, but again, they couldn't get out of that second round.
Yeah.
And I hate that to be the barrier marker because you're marking out a lot of teams.
Yeah.
10, I know, made it to the regional finals, and then the first year I coached, 2017, Tyreek Mink's team, that group, you had Braden Murphy, Landon Stinson, Tyreek Mink, Billy Michael Dyer, had a bunch of really good football players on it, made it to the regional finals. I don't know, man, that fifth spot's hard.
Yeah.
Golly, it's hard. It's got to be. I mean, if I'm going to use the regional championship as a barrier for the four, I've got to use it. I don't know, man. I'm biased toward both of the 10 and the 17 because I played with most of the players on one and I coached on the other.
Oh, and that 06 team,
I'm going to have to do. This is a weak way out of it, but I'm going to have to do 5A and 5B and list them both. 10 and 17.
Yeah.
It's probably a cheap way of doing it, but that's where I'm going to leave it.
You got to do what you got to do.
That's where I'm going to leave it for now.
And that 06 team gets past Glasgow there, and
okay. I'm glad you said that.
They may be in the top two
because I could go. Honestly, I could go to 10 teams. You got 2006, which they make it past Glasgow.
Yeah.
They're in the regional finals, I think. Maybe even winning it. I don't know.
Yeah.
2002, 2003, those 2 years we were just talking about, they were good. There were some teams, I got to looking at the records the other day, there were some teams in the mid-90s that did really, really well.
I would imagine Catman was on some crazy teams.
Talk about a guy with lore around him.
Yeah. Kids in class now know who
Catman was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the best natural athlete to ever come out of Monroe County. Yeah. I mean, you've got...
I always hear the stories about him showing up to the track meet like in penny loafers.
Yeah.
And like looking back at the people that he beat in the 100 meter.
Or Timberland boots.
Yeah. And then he would finish and leave.
Yeah. Go back. I've heard Randy Knuckles, which was our defensive coordinator, played at Barron County.
He's told me some Catman stories.
Yeah, played against Catman. Yeah. He said, I'll never forget it. He said, I was playing defense at Barron, and they run toss. No, they were watching film. Make sure I tell this right. They were watching film, prepping for Monroe at Barron County. He said their coach turned up the volume. It's like, I want y'all to listen to this. Monroe County was backed up to their own end zone, and they run toss sweep, which the football fans know that's not a play to call on your own when you're backed up at your own goal line. They run toss sweep to Catman, and Catman catches it about 6-7 yards deep in the end zone. And before he even makes it to the goal line, the announcer says, and he's gone.
Oh, my gosh.
That was the type of speed that he had.
Yeah.
Before he was even out of the end zone, the announcer said, and he's gone.
Oh, yeah. That team, my cousin Scotty was his backup.
Really?
And, like, he starts, and he's a good running back on any other team.
Yeah.
I know he played.
Talk about getting tongue-tied. Been talking so long. Talk about getting buried in a lineup.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's a tough guy. Like, gosh.
Yeah. But I guess those are my 6, I guess. Those are my 6 teams.
Oh.
Are you going to make me rank them?
Was that the people want?
That's what the people want. Well, 10 and 17, those are my 5s, I guess. Those are my play-in games, I guess you'd call them. Those were some good ball teams. Those were good ball teams. 4, I'm going to have to go. Do I need to consider them against the other teams or consider them against their years? Is this an open-ended question?
This is your list.
It's tough.
Well, there's so many hypotheticals to get into.
I'm going to say 2008 was probably the most. I'm biased, but I'm going to put them at the top.
Mm-hmm.
I say that with full bias.
Oh, my list is about to be biased.
I'm full biased. I'm gonna put 2008 at the top just because what we done in the off season, what we built in the off season. 1989, I don't know a lot about them, but you're undefeated in the regular season. I'm not going to rank them. I'm going to refuse to rank them. I'm not going to rank the 4 because every team's different. We just talked about your team being emotional and my team. I mean, I'm too close to a lot of the people to do that. I'm just not going to do it.
I understand.
But I am going to say that my team was the best. 2008, I think, in my opinion, was the best. It was magical. It was a good year. We changed a lot of culture that year.
Oh, yeah.
And
Think about what it did for the community.
Yeah.
You remember driving like on away games and people lined up on the sidewalk?
Mm-hmm. I do. Just waving us off. Yeah. I mean, that was special.
What a team, what a good football team in a small town can do for the whole community.
Exactly.
Signs in all the windows, and like we got free blizzards from Dairy Queen.
Mm-hmm.
The drive-in was open. You wore your jersey. The drive-in, you got in free.
Yep. I remember going out on Wednesday nights, because Thursday nights the quarterback always hosted the lineman.
Mm-hmm.
So Wednesday night was a team meal night. It was our last hard practice of the week, and we go out to eat. And I remember several times going out to eat somewhere as a team, and the waiter coming up, your meal's been taken care of.
Yeah.
Statute of limitations.
I don't think
receiving benefits is out of the question now.
Like my senior year, I remember going to McDonald's every morning before school, and like old men that I didn't know who they were would buy my sausage biscuit.
Yeah.
Like
it's wild to look back at now. It's wild to look back at now. But I want to talk about each team. 1989, the only undefeated regular season team in history. I'm sure if you asked John Pettit, I'm sure he would rank his team first. And I can't argue with it, man.
Yeah,
I mean, that 12-1, I think they got beat. But I will say they got beat to death by Mayfield. They got him got beat pretty good. So that hurts them. 2009, that team, probably the most underappreciated regional championship team. To your point, I could understand where you guys felt underappreciated, but I don't know. The losses, you guys were 10-4.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 losses hurt you.
Yeah, we did average allowing less than 13 points a game.
You did. You guys played some tough teams.
That's with Fort Campbell and Franklin Simpson putting up 35.
Yeah.
You take those away, what do we average allowing?
Right. The 4 losses hurt.
Yeah, they do.
They hurt. But, I mean, you still won 10 ball games and still played in.
Have you seen the list of the combined opponents' records? Has Neil showed it to you?
He's not. I'd love to talk about it, though.
I don't remember
the numbers.
Because
I will say your guys' schedule was tougher than ours.
I don't remember the numbers, but of the 08, 09, 13 team, we had
12.
The toughest. Yeah, 12. My wife graduated that year. I keep getting the year. We had the toughest combined opponents record. I'm going to do something podcasters shouldn't do and get my phone.
You going to check the tape?
Neil sent it to me.
I think I love it. I love that people are getting back into this and talking about it.
There's no telling how far I got us.
I think the 4 losses hurt, though.
It does.
It not to keep harping on it, but if you're going to use wins and losses and championships.
One of those losses was to Allen County, undefeated regular season. They
were like 7-6. It was like a 7-6 ball game.
And they beat us in a mud bowl.
Mud bowl, yeah.
But it's still a loss.
It's still a loss.
That turned us around before the playoffs.
Right. Our loss in the regular season was right before we played.
I'll tell you should have heard the post-game speech in the locker room. If you walk into that locker room post-Allen County and listen to Coach Pettit, you think we just lost to 0-10.
Yeah.
Like.
Happened at a good time.
Yeah. You listen to him talk to us, you think we just got beat by some nobody.
Yeah.
And we just lost to the probably top 2-3 team in 4A football.
Yeah.
By 6.
No, you lost by 1, didn't you?
No, we lost 6-0.
Gotcha.
It was a mud bowl. There was a play where Rocky sacked the quarterback and he fumbled, and he could have picked the ball up and walked it in.
Yeah.
But he didn't know he fumbled.
Ah.
Yeah. He turned around and walked back
You
to
talk
the line.
talking about Rocky. You talk about a
Tough.
football player. Football player.
Man, I know he sent it to me. I'm not going to be able to find it.
Nonetheless, though, man, 2009, y'all were good. Y'all were good. I think the record just hurt you just because it doesn't look as good as 12 wins.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to argue.
2000.
My top two is interchangeable.
I'm going to go.
I
see,
respect
I've talked
both
about.
sides.
We've talked about 2008 enough. We talked about 1989 as much as I can. I mean, I do know that they had Jabbar Pipkin, John Boy Ross.
Yep.
I mean, they had Casey Tooley. They had good players. Had a really good offensive line. 2012, I'm going to come with an opinion that a lot of people may not agree with. I'm going to say 2012, out of all those teams, had the best shot at anybody at winning the whole thing. I'm going to say that they had the best shot out of anybody to win the whole thing. Had arguably the best player ever on the roster. You had a huge offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
You had a good defense. And a couple of plays at Louisville Central, they're playing for the whole thing, and I think that they have a cakewalk in the finals, just to be honest with you.
09 combined opponents record is 91-75.
Okay.
08's 83-83. 12 is 88-78.
Gotcha. So the two toughest records was 9 and 12. Out of those three teams, ours was the easiest.
I mean, I don't know how to say easiest. There's like
Easiest of those
but,
three. Easy, if we're being hard, being honest.
You guys played some good. That Greene County team.
They were good. They were good. Yeah, they were.
I
good.
mean,
we were both at one time. When we played them in the regional finals. That's
a one-play difference maker.
I want to say that in the regional finals,
what about Jared Rich on that punt?
Shout out Jared Rich for probably the greatest football play ever.
Is there a more influential football play in Monroe County history? Single play.
I'm going to say one is that's close that doesn't get appreciated enough. I'm going to say Jared's is by far the best.
Yeah.
The one that doesn't get talked about enough is Garrett Lyons blocking the extra point earlier that game.
I forgot about that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Garrett, we didn't hit any field goals, so we were down 7-6. They score again, and they go. Wait a minute now. 7-6.
Mm-hmm.
We score, make it 7-12. Then they score again to make it 13-12. Garrett blocks the extra point to keep it 13-12. So now a safety, which Jared Rich does, wins it instead of ties it. I'm going to say that play doesn't – Garrett jumping up and blocking that kick doesn't get talked about enough because it sets up Jared's best play ever. The safety that makes it 14-13.
We've been going 3 hours or more, possibly more. It's 9 o'clock.
Nobody gonna
it's
listen
9 o'clock.
Nobody's going to listen. They might. They might listen to the whole thing just to listen to this part. But I'm going to say back to 2012, man, they had some really, really good, tough football players that I truly think that was the best chance out of all those teams to win the whole thing.
I agree. I was at that game, too.
I was too. That was a heartbreaker. That was a tough – you talk about another tough place to play at Louisville Central.
Oh, yeah. It was like
– do you remember the
concrete walls?
The concrete walls. They played Muhammad Ali. The champ is here. They were defending champs. They walked out.
They were about like Fort Campbell, 3 back-to-back championships.
They were. Talk about tough timing for good
Monroe County football teams. I wonder where they're at now. What do they do now? Are they
Louisville Central? I want to say that coach of those teams might have passed away.
Fort Campbell doesn't.
They're down now too. Yeah.
It's all LCA and Mayfield.
It's all the private schools, yeah. Which that's a different conversation for a different day. I don't know why we don't have a.
my list is probably the same as yours.
I want to hear it, though. I want to hear it. The people want to know.
Like I said, if I'm including teams I didn't watch play, I almost have to put 89 at 1 because of the undefeated regular season.
Yeah.
And just the lore, but I don't. So they're honorary mention, top of the list. My number 1's 09, biased. I take all the biased criticism.
I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
My argument would be the first time back-to-back region titles were won in the county, and I think still the only time back-to-back.
I am jealous that you got 2, and
we got the back-to-back shirts. We threw up the deuces at graduation. Did you ever heard that story?
No.
John got us together before the season, and he's like, basically, you don't want to be known as the class that graduates after the region champions. But in shorter term, you're not going to be known as anything if that's what you are. It's like, so we're going to get this together. We're going to do what we got to do, and when y'all walk across the line at graduation, I'll be sitting in the top corner of the blue seats, and every one of you throw 2 fingers up at me. And
That's
I
awesome.
was the first football player to walk across the line. I got to throw
That's
the
awesome.
deuces. I remember asking Neil, he's in line behind me, like, you're going to do it, right?
Oh, I'd have done it in a heartbeat if I was you guys.
So you go back and look at those pictures, and we got the deuces.
That's awesome.
So
I am jealous that you guys got 2.
I'm going to go 09, 08 and accept the biased criticism, and I will say I respect any argument for 08.
I'm here. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm here for the debate. I'm here for all the smoke.
I hope that AI develops into something that we can watch that hypothetical game one day. What a game that would be, though.
Oh, man.
At number 3, I'm going to throw 12.
Yeah.
The region titles, heck of a record, good team.
Wait a minute now. You went 89, 8, 9, so 12 would be 4.
89's not on my list.
Honorable mention.
If I don't want to talk
Gotcha.
about their honorable mention number 1 based on the 10-0 record.
I got you.
I just didn't. I've never even seen a highlight of them.
I've not either. But
I've heard Casey Tooley was a stud. I just heard that it was a crazy team.
Yeah. Okay, so 8, 9, 12.
I go. No, 9, 8, 12.
9, 8, 12.
Yeah.
I tried to say it. I tried 2008. I tried.
Go 09, 08, 12. I'm going to go. That's where it gets tough. That's where it gets fuzzy.
It gets hard.
I don't remember the year, though. I want to go like the John Myers team that was number 4. If it was 02, it was 02. If it was that's the team I'm thinking about, though. Do you know which team? Like,
yes, I do.
Do we have the year? Like,
I want to say that was the year we got beat at Webster County. In the second round.
Whatever year that team was.
I want to say it was 2002.
That's my 4.
Solid pick.
And I'm gonna throw 6 at 5.
2006.
You got that team, man.
I know it haunts me.
Yeah,
me.
I'm not going back. Mine is more like I'm looking at what that team had. Like,
yeah,
if you go records, my team has to be my list has to be different. If you go accolades, it probably has to be different. But now 06 had the first district title in forever.
Yes, forever.
Like they hung some hardware.
Yeah, they did.
In a tough district.
Yeah, beat Owensboro Catholic
tough.
for the first
you
time.
Could argue that that district was awful.
I'll say this about 2006. 2006, I grew more as a football player in 2006 than I did any other year due to the guys that were on that team and what we went through, starting out 0-3 all the way to the halftime of Barron County through the rest of the year. I grew more as a football player that year than I did probably until I got to college.
Yeah.
That was a special year that I hate to leave off my list. Yeah, to your point, so much potential, man. Yeah. So much potential.
I'm just basing mine more so off what I've witnessed or experienced. I accept all arguments. I think the debate's fun.
Oh, I love it.
We'll wrap it up there, though, with anybody that's stuck with us through the journey.
Yeah, I know. We were talking, I was like, man, I don't know if we're going to get to How many people's going to listen to a 45-minute podcast?
I can name a few that I know are going to listen to all of it.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Yes, I mean, they're like, I know Neil's going to listen to every minute of it.
Yeah.
Probably twice, and probably give me talking points.
Yeah.
But
probably criticize my list, which again I'm here for.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
if you can't tell, I'm a big local hometown sports fan, and that goes for any school.
Yes.
Because I've seen what it can do for. It is one of the best tools for developing young people.
100%.
The pride of small town sports. I know I had a family member come in one time and watched one of our local. They live in Nashville.
Yeah.
And their kids go to like a private school that maybe sports aren't as heavily involved, or the support for the sports is maybe not maybe, but it's nowhere close to what it is here. And I just remember them after they come to one of our football games in 2000. It was either 2008 or 2012 when me and my brother were playing, and they was like, "We miss this." Like, I feel this atmosphere makes me feel guilty as a parent for not letting my child.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, their children are one's at the military academy, the other's like one of the best performers I've ever seen at the high school level. She can sing, she can dance, she's great to watch. But there's just something about that local sports that does something for the community. It does something for the kids that participate in it. It's a great tool.
100%. 100%.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of it all, and people's probably, I know, tired of hearing me yap about it. But
if they are, we don't care about them now.
For those of you that's listened to this far, I encourage you to continue to listen to the Basement Podcast and listen to the Average Joseph Podcast.
Thank you.
Buy Tyler's book. It's I'm not just saying that. It's if you live in Tompkinsville, it's worth buying just for the parallels in it.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And thank you for coming on.
I'm glad you had me.
It's been a blast. Inaugural episode coming soon.
I was very, very nervous when before I got down here, but the vibes you said, it's real laid back, which I like. It's nice.
Appreciate it, brother. We'll have to do it again. You're open to coming back on, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Cut it shorter maybe next time.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Set a timer.
It'll be what it'll be, like it's supposed to be. Yeah, man. You too.
We're in the basement. We're in the basement. We're in the basement. I said we're in the basement. And if you're not in the basement, you need to be in the basement right now, because you're missing out.